Hello! Oh my gosh, the shrimp is like... Okay, there it is. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, Tika. Congrats on getting first. Hello, Jojo. Hello, Alice. Oh, 46 scratches. Nice, Tika. You lived. Hello, Star. Welcome back. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. Yeah, oh, let me move my mic closer a little bit. Oh, thank you for filling up Star's beer mug. Hello. I've been gone for a little while. It was just unfortunate timing, honestly, because first I was just gonna take the weekend off for a mental health rest, and then I got fucking sick. And you want to know what I got sick with? Nothing bad. Nothing awful. Honestly, I just think my body was being dramatic. Allergies. Severe allergies. Or really bad allergies. I don't know what they said. Something like that. Like really bad allergies, and it made me feel so sick. And I didn't know allergies could do that. So yeah. My throat was literally... That's really fun. Yeah, it was... No, it was not fun. It was not fun. Because for a week, my throat was like... just on fire, I guess? I don't know. I don't know how to explain that. It was hurting. But yes, I'm back. Ooh, is my model okay? Well, I was gonna say there are new sub badges, but you all have founders. Well, allergies are crazy, right? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And yeah, sub badges. Speaking of sub badges, I know from personal experience, I've never had allergies this bad though. That's the thing. So that's why it surprised me. Because I thought it was something else. I thought I thought I had something like a cold or something but no, they just said it was allergies and I was like, what the fuck? Allergies can make you feel like this? I thought you just got like runny nose, stuffy nose, and like your eyes cried. That's what happens to me. But this time they hit me pretty hard. And I still have them a little bit, but not too bad. So if you hear me sniffling, I'm sorry. But yes, sub badges. We have sub badges now. And they were made by, let me get the thing up. I don't know if I'm supposed to, like, if I show like all the sub badges at once or you could see that, or I don't know. Sorry, got my nose is still a little stuffy. Anaphylactic shock is really intense. I have no idea what that word means, but I'm gonna trust you on that, Tika. Yeah, show them all? Okay, I'll show them. Here, look at my amazing editing that I did literally 5 minutes ago because I just remembered to do this. So it's not great, but oh, and it's oh no, it's transparent. It's transparent. Why is it transparent? Okay, we'll move it over here. Oh, it's because it's over chat. Oh, duh. But anyway, here are the sub badges. They're made by. This is the 1 month. Then there's the second one is 3 months. Then 6 months, 9 months, a year, and 2 years. And they're all by Lunaeth on Twitter, or she has an Etsy as well, I believe. And they're my sub badges. Nice, thank you. No, nice, thank you. And I see you have it, Star. You have the 3 month. So thank you. So thank you to Lunaeth for making them. I really love them. They're so cute. I think they're cute. And I think they're lovely. But yeah, how have you guys been? I've just been sick. Nothing really interesting. Nothing interesting really at all. Other than being sick. Also, it's really cold in my room and I don't know why. It's weird. I actually had to turn off my fan. I have been doing nothing. Same, Alice. I've been doing nothing. Yeah, I took off my founders just for this. Thank you, Star. That's cute. You don't have to take off your founders, but I appreciate that. It's cute. Sorry, had to cough a little bit. And today we're playing Our Life Beginnings and Always. I think I got it right this time for once. And we are right at the end of, we have one more scene to do and then we're going to the next summer. So we can have like a little recap and hop into the next summer. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Let me take this off. There we go. And yeah, I'm excited to play this game. It's twice on the schedule with Stardew Valley. Twice also on the schedule because I want to finish this game and move on to something else. 63... oh, I thought it said 63 scratches. 100 scratches. Good job, Trixie. Good job, Trixie. And we have our shrimp here, our simping shrimp. Because you guys all like to simp for the moms. And for some reason... I mean, they're gorgeous, so I understand, but it's funny. So yes, I guess I don't really have anything else. And no Pocket Mod. No, Pocket Mod is at work, sadly. She might jump in at the end of the stream. Oh, thank you for adding Trixie Star. There she is. There's Trixie. Okay, good. She's placed correctly. I actually didn't test that properly, so... because I forgot. Yay! Trixie! Yeah, she's but Pocket Mob Blooper is at work. She might pop in during lunch, her lunch break, or after she comes back. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully she'll be able to make one of the streams this week since there's 4 of them. I'm hoping. And so yeah, I guess we could start the game now. I already asked how you guys' day was, right? Yes, I believe I did. I believe I did. But if you want to let me know, just you can tell me. Only if you're comfortable, of course. But yes, we still have Simp the Shrimp. I think that's what we named him. Very creative. Very creative. But yeah, that's... Let me go to the game. Ah. It's loading. Okay, there we go. Gameplay, game capture. Not Stardew. I'm afraid to bonk the shrimp. Why would you? Oh, but you're not afraid to bonk me? What? What is this? The shrimp is fine. The shrimp is squishy. My head is not. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. See, the bonk goes through the shrimp. It's fine. Thank you for the bonk, Alice. I don't know what I did, but thank you. Okay, continue. Also, we decided last stream, but we don't want to hurt his feelings. Well, as we saw, it goes behind. The bonk goes behind the shrimp, so it's fine. I wanted to bonk the shrimp. We have mixed feelings in the chat today. That's funny. Okay. But yes, we have this. Does anyone know how to pronounce this right here? Oh no, it's beginning. I get all the bonks because I've been gone. Or just because, I don't know. Soiree? Soiree? Does anyone know how to pronounce this? Oh no, not the boob! Not the boob! Oh my gosh. No, not the boob. I hate hearing my own voice do that. Ah, chickens! Oh my gosh, they're still fucking slow. Why are they so slow? I sped them up. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Oh, I need to change it to this anyway. Chickens. Strength. Let's speed them up. Okay. Ah. Okay. There we go. Slow-mo chickens, let's go. I don't know why those chickens are slow. They shouldn't be. I sped them up more, so hopefully that works. But the chickens are more a Stardew Valley thing, I feel. But they could be anytime. If you're feeding Trixie, I guess they could be an anytime thing. That was dark. The poor chickens are there. It's called poor chickens because they get eaten by Trixie. Oh my gosh, not the poop. Oh, thank you for punching Alex. So no one knows how to pronounce this, right? Soiree? Hopefully they don't say it too much, because I am lost on how to say that. But yes, I'm excited to play this game. I love it a lot. Let's start it. Okay. We're still 13, I believe, and then I think the next stage is when we're 18? Soiree? Soiree? Soiree. Soiree. That does not look like how you pronounce it, but thank you, Alice. Thank you. Okay. If it's said in this, I know how to say it now. It is. Let me write that down just so I remember. We're probably not gonna see it again, but we're doing the soiree thing. You whiled away the morning. Sounds right. Yeah, that does sound right. The morning, doing whatever struck your fancy, and now you're recharging with lunch. With nothing on the horizon, you wanted to free You were free to spend as much or as little time as on your plate as you wanted. It was while you were thinking of all the possibilities for your afternoons that your moms approached you. I wonder how they're gonna look when we're 18. Ooh, that's exciting too. Ma is the one on the left, right? Hi, Ara. And Mom is, yeah, okay. You okay? Mouth full, you nodded and replied. Too surprised they both sat with you at the table. Based on the time, you had wondered if they were joining you for a meal, but neither of them brought anything. Oh no, serious talk. Alright. Great, we wanted to have a little chat with you. The qualifier little did nothing to downplay the situation. Your chewing slowed as your eyes widened, looking from one parent to the other. Mommy on the left is hot, and this is why we have the shrimp. This is why we have the shrimp. Anything that required both of them to talk to you must be something big. Irritated? No. You perked up? It was unsettling. Okay, they're cool, so we'll perk up at the exciting possibilities. A vacation maybe? Or a pet? Oh my gosh, a pet. Imagine if we got a pet, we could get a Trixie. A revelation that they were actually undercover agents. You leaned in, eager to learn more. That'd be a twist. That'd be funny as hell, though. Oh, here it is. There's a soiree at the Cypress tomorrow night. Your ma and I are going. The Cypress was a country club your moms were a part of where Elizabeth played golf. It seemed like every other month they had some event or another, all with fancy names like Soiree. You nodded eagerly, anxious for Mom. I wasn't logged in according to Twitch. What? Really? How are you chatting then, Tika? Anxious for Mom to get to the good stuff. Your Mom chuckled at your poorly concealed reaction, leaning in. Ma took your hand and squeezed it. We've decided to make the night a bit special. Elizabeth's going to be allowed to stay home fully alone for the first time. Sorry. You're still coming to the party with us. It's Elizabeth's night to party with no family around, not yours. Sorry, you've got to wait a couple more years. Okay, alright, I could go. You were disappointed. That's not fair. Should we be bratty? Don't know, don't question it. I won't question it. What should we do? Should we be happy that we're going to the soiree? Or should we be like a little like, that's not fair. She gets to stay home. I'm 13. I can stay home too. And ruin Elizabeth's night. I feel like subbage. Oh. 2 months, 21 days. Yay! I still need to add the other emotes to that. 2 months, 21 days. Is it working finally? I think when everyone resubscribed, it finally worked. So I'm happy about that. But anyway, yes, it is. Okay. 1 month, 25 days. Thank you guys so much for the support. I really appreciate it. We'll ask what it's going to be like. Before we get all bratty, let's hear what it's going to be like. Yeah, I need to add the gun emote to it. I also need to add it to the raid message. Hold on, let me write that down. I always forget. It's mostly because I'm a lazy piece of shit, honestly. I'm gonna be honest, and I forget. The little dancing. The usual, mostly. We wanted to make it a special night for you too, so we've got something a little extra planned. Is Cove coming? That was unexpected. Interested, you listened. Your parents shared a look across the table. You cleared your throat, reminding them that you were waiting. They couldn't keep dropping such hints and then turn coy when the conversation was about to get good. Well, since it's a pretty fancy party that's still chaperoned, and attendees are allowed to bring guests, we thought it might be a nice opportunity to invite someone yourself as a date if you want. Oh my gosh, we need more emojis. Yes, I'm working on that. I'm gonna work. Yeah, I'm working on that. There will be more emojis. I promise. I promise, Alice. There will be more. But oh my god, a date. Are we going with as a date with Cove? Your eyes widened as the work sunk in. Your mom's, accustomed to your quietness, continued. Even though we'll be at the party too, you don't need to worry about us getting in your way. You'll be free to eat, dance, and enjoy the music as you see fit. But no leaving the property. Ma nodded at Mom's interjection. Isn't that great? Yes, as long as you don't leave the party and you'd rather just bring a friend, that's a-okay too. You didn't know how to react? Sure, that's amazing. You must have lit up because your parents shared an amused look again. Our first date!
Don't worry about it.
The soiree isn't until tomorrow, so you got time. Just let us know your plans before we're heading out. And that's all. We'll leave you to your lunch now. Your moms rose from their chairs in unison, disappearing to another part of the house. You barely noticed their departure. All you could think of was what just had happened. The remnants of your lunch stared at you from your plate. You had lost your appetite. You felt like you finished. You were glad to go back to eating. We probably lost our appetite because we were excited. The last thing on your mind was food. You rose up from the table and cleared your plate as you tried to untangle the thoughts in your head. I love our room. I wonder how it's gonna change. I hope it doesn't change too much because I really like it. We have a computer at 13. Hold on, I just realized that. We have our own computer at 13. What the hell? Even though you relocated to your bedroom, your head was stuck on the conversation that had unfolded at the dining table downstairs. You knew that. It was having someone come as a friend would be best. You wanted it to be a date. You didn't want to bring anyone. It was too soon to pick one. I want the drama. I want it to be a date. The prospect of having your first date made it impossible to sit still. You couldn't help but jiggle your foot as you laid on your bed, contemplating the possibility. That night being a date would mean actually asking someone out. The little you knew of what came from what you've seen on TV and movies and what you heard about from kids at school. Your moms hadn't even entertained the idea of you dating until now. You went over the possible words and phrases in your head, setting up scenarios and smooth whatever that says, before tearing them down and trying something else. What? Derek! I want to ask Cove. Is it because we picked him as a crush? No! That was a mistake. Why? No! I wanted to ask Cove. Nothing wrong with Derek, but we're doing the Cove route. Derek will be next time. Fine, it's too bad. Sighing, you shifted a position on the bed, resting your arms on the windowsill. A flock of birds caught your eye and you led your gaze as they crossed the sky. You watched the birds grow smaller and less distinct until they disappeared from sight. Like a snap of hypnotist's fingers, you were released from the trance and left with a goal of your own. You were going to take a walk. Oh, hey, Rai. Sus. What's sus? We're trying to get a date. We wanted to... Thank you for the bonk, Rai. That's 3 bonks already in just like 20 minutes. But yes, hello, how are you doing? We're trying to get a date and I wanted to date Cove, but they only let us go with Derek, so I said no. Because we're doing Cove's route, not Derek's. You're just that sus, I guess. Okay, we're gonna go take a walk. Apparently a sussy walk. You ambled through the familiar streets of your... What did I do to deserve this already? You ambled through the familiar streets of your neighborhood, picking your path at a whim. It was as quiet as ever, with tourists choosing to congregate in the shopping area near the beach rather than venture into the sleeping residential zones. Oh, this is so pretty. Oh, thank you. You're actually petting Trixie? Star? What? What is going on? What happened to you? Usually you take her away. You continued down the road and soon found yourself at the shore. Hold on. Let me write something down. Hey, boss us. Without a doubt. Okay, I just wrote something I need to do. Down. The fresh, salty air hit you first, rolling to meet over the grassy dunes that tickled your legs, followed by the familiar view of the sea stretching across the horizon. You came to a hall. A lone figure was standing in the ocean, the water reaching up to his knees. Is it Cove? Is it Cove? Yes! Though he had his back to you, you recognized the familiar silhouette as Cove's. It made sense that you find him here. He was always in his element by the sea. You had no idea if he heard your arrival or if it was a coincidence, but he looked over his shoulder. Your eyes met. You headed closer, you called out, you waved him over, you smiled. Let's smile. The expression came as naturally as the rising tide. Seeing Cove was an easy way to lift one's mood. Oh, that's so cute! Cove grinned at you from over his shoulder and before turning around to wade back to the shore. Okay. What was his voice again? I forgot. I forgot what his voice was. What are you up to? My moms are taking... No, hold on. Hold on. Oh my god. Thank god they're gonna be older in the next scene, because I don't know how to do 13-year-old voices. My moms are taking me to a soiree tomorrow at their country club. A soiree sounds exciting. Cove tried to show a level of enthusiasm, keeping his grin pinned in place, but you could tell that he had no envy towards your plans. You're coming too. We're just saying you're coming too, instead of will you come with me, or I'm attending by myself. You don't have to come if you don't want to. I think you're coming too is kind of funny, but I don't know how he'll take that. You're coming too. His eyebrows shot up. That's so cute. I am? My mom said it was okay for someone to come along. You watched him process the offer, his eyebrows coming far away for just a moment before he broke into a smile. Sure, I'll come. It could be a date. You breathe a sigh of relief. Thanks, that's great. Aww! Should we say it could be a date? That'd be so cute. Or should we do more slow burns still? I mean, I want to say it could be a date, but I also want to say be casual about it, you know? But there was me earlier being all upset that we couldn't take him as a date, so it could be a date. Oh, he's laughing. Cove laughed, brushing his hair from his face. When you didn't join him or continue the joke, he cocked his head. What? Oh no! He's rejecting us! Our first rejection! You're not serious, right? My parents also said I can have a real date for the first time at the soiree tomorrow. I don't think it could be a real date with me. A practice date? Yes, a practice date! He looks like he's growing more and more concerned for us. This is great. Is that something you're supposed to practice? I don't know, but wouldn't it be a good idea to try a date with someone you're friends with before going out with someone you actually like that way? He rubbed an arm. Aww.
Maybe?
Aww! Maybe, but what would I do differently to make it a date? Would I need to buy you flowers or something? Eyes wide, you shook your head and tried to dislodge the vision of Cove at your door, dressed in a tuxedo and holding out a fancy bouquet. Aww! No, you don't have to get me anything. So I just need to go and we'll say it's a date. You nodded, eyes bright. Well, alright, we could try it. Only for you, Ara. Aww! He's so cute! This is so cute! You smiled widely. This is going to be a pretty special night after all. You clapped your hands together, ready to share the resolution with your parents. Can you come to my house right now so we can let my moms know the plan? No problem. Cove went with her. He discarded his things in the sand, tugging his shirt over his head and slipping on a pair of shoes before joining you and setting off home. The two of you stepped inside the front door of your house. Given the proximity you had growing up, it was an action you'd taken together countless times, and you thought yourself lucky to have such a great friend living close by. At the sound of the door opening, your mom poked her head into the hall.
Hello.
Sorry? Hello! Ah, Cove, it's you. What a surprise! She chuckled at her own joke. Cove was always there, and she knew how close the two of you were. Bringing anyone other than him back would have been an actual surprise. Hi, Mrs. Arcanum. It's nice to see you. So I take it Cove's gonna be our guest for tomorrow night? You nodded your head vigorously, beaming at your mom.
So?
And is it a date? Her voice was light, teasing, and it was painful.
Yes.
I guess it is. Mom arched an eyebrow at the vague agreement.
Oh.
Cove became more sheepish about it after seeing someone's reaction to the situation. This is so fucking cute. It's supposed to be practice. I see. We want to try seeing what a date is like before we go on more dates.
Sounds good.
Makes sense to me. Okay, Cove, I'll give your dad a call and get everything... Oh gosh, oh no. Oh no. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. Okay, Cove, I'll give your dad a call and get everything squared away. Wow, but... Yeah, I got it though. She walked off to make the call. You turned to Cove, who offered you a nervous smile. I'm gonna go so I can talk to my parents when they're done with the call. Oh my gosh, his mom is gonna be so excited. Kyra, I believe her name is? I forgot what some of their names are. You saw him off with a wave. I'm looking forward to it. See you. And the rest of the afternoon passed just like that. Back at your room, your mind was alight with visions of tomorrow night. The soiree was something, but not nearly as exciting as going on your first date. You were thrilled that Cove had actually said yes, that he was your genuine date to a party. You hugged your knees to your chest, overawed by the thought. The night couldn't come soon enough. The evening of the soiree had arrived, the daylight hours having slipped by in a blur. Up in your bedroom, you were getting ready for the big event. That was your intention, at least, but you hadn't settled on an outfit. Stationed in front of your wardrobe, you scanned over the clothing you had at your disposal. Though Ma had mentioned this event was a bit dressier than normal get-together, you didn't necessarily have to comply. Should we keep things casual or be more formal? Sorry, I had to go AFK. No, it's fine. It's fine, Star. Don't worry about it. I got it. Back now? Welcome back. Should we keep things casual or go for something formal? What do you guys think? What would... I think Cove would like the casual more, honestly. Well, yeah, we'll keep things casual. Disregarding the suggested... Damn bot. Disregarding the suggested guidelines, you intended to keep things simple. You just wanted to become... You didn't like the idea of trying to be fancy. You didn't want to worry about what you're... You hated stuff your clothes. You wanted to break the rules. Yes. You knew it was unlikely for someone else at the country club was going to pass on the formal wear, and that made it all more fun. It was with a grin that you turned to the casual clothes in your closet. You'd taken out plain pants with one of your usual tops, a center skirt with one of your usual tops, a laid-back dress, top and bottom with loud colors and clashy patterns. That's like Cove. I guess we were a laid-back dress or a skirt. Let's do a dress. No one was gonna mistake it for a formal gown, but it felt perfect for you this summer evening. You quickly dressed in the familiar comfort of your regular clothes. It felt natural, but you felt a thrill of excitement as you imagined how people would react to it all. Now dressed, you gave yourself a final glance before heading downstairs, ready to head out. Your mom said already, I wonder if their clothes are gonna change. You found your mom's already waiting in the living room. They were putting the finishing touches on their outfit. Ma strapping her heel into a stiletto shoe and Mom trying to fasten the bracelet single-handedly. Aww! Aww, they look so pretty! They look so pretty, aww! They did change clothes. All those dresses are beautiful. They looked up as you entered. Aw, they're so supportive. My, what a bold new look. I certainly haven't seen that before. Ma kept things light with a joke, but you knew this was not what she had been expecting. Mom's expressions was pained.
Okay.
The dress code was fancier than that, Aura, but I guess there's no time to do anything about it now. Ma was still struggling with the bracelet. You lent a hand literally by taking one side and holding it as she secured this clasp. Thanks, kiddo. Mom then glanced at the clock at the wall, seeing where the hands were pointing. A frown creased on her face. When's Cove gonna be here, do you know? Soon probably. He's getting here at 7. I'm picking him up from his place, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah? She raised her eyebrows, a broad grin replacing the earlier frown. That's very polite of you. Go sweep him off his feet. We want to leave in 10 minutes. Okay. Cove's house was a mere seconds away from yours, making the warning unnecessary, but you dutifully went out. After crossing the street, you found yourself at Cove's very familiar front door. You rang the bell, whose chime was lodged in your head from all the times you rang it over the years. Though, unlike usual, Cove's mom Kyra was the one who answered it this night. She's gonna be so excited for us. Hey, Ara, come on in. She beckoned you inside as she was so excited to see that the words were alone weren't enough. I knew it. Thanks for coming. The boys will be right down. They're just in Cove's room. I can call them if you want. Can I go check? It's alright, I can wait. That would be great, thanks. Can I go check? Oh, hello, Haru. How are you doing? We're playing, Our Life Beginnings and Always. And it's very, very, very fun. And we're going on our first date. We're 13 and going on our first date. You probably know better than I do. I'll go. You headed down the short hallway towards Cove's room. The door was ajar. Oh! Peeking inside, you spotted Cove and his dad standing close together. Cove's usual beach-ready clothes have been replaced with a prim set of formal wear. You glance down at your standard outfit. It shouldn't be a big deal that you taken casual pro, even if Cove hadn't. I knew this was gonna happen, and I was thinking it was gonna be funny that we go casual and he wouldn't. Mr. Holden was bent over Cove's arm, fiddling with the buttons at the end of the shirt sleeves. He didn't appear to be having much success. I'm good, thank you. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm doing well. My nose is just a little stuffy. But other than that, I'm doing good. And I'm happy to be playing this game again. He looks so worried. They both look so worried. You're gonna have a great time. Such a fun time. Just relax and enjoy the night. It's going to be great. He continued twisting the buttons without making progress. As he continued insisting how much of a good time Cove was going to have, you wonder which of them he was trying to reassure. Cove grimaced and spoke in a fragile voice. Aww! Oh, he's getting nervous. That's so cute. Dad, can you stop? You're making me nervous. Mr. Holden laughed quietly, still bent over Cove's arm. The pep talk had the opposite effect, with his own anxiety rubbing off on his son. Sorry, I don't know. His words simply dropped off there. Straightening out, Mr. Holden caught sight of you in the doorway. Grinning, he flashed you a wink. Hey, Ara, it's great that you came. We'll be out in a minute. Feeling Cove's eye on you, you hung back a moment. He didn't seem to be able to find the words to express whatever he was thinking, though, so you nodded and took your leave. Aw, that's cute. You returned to the living room. Kyra, nestled on the sofa, perked up at your arrival. How are they getting on? They're coming. Noted. Then we're waiting. Take a seat. Aw. A short while later, Mr. Holden strolled in the room, giving you a wave. Cove pulled his face into a smile as you reciprocated. The tension in his face faded away. Hi, Ara. You fluttered your hand in a wave. Aw. Cove seemed to take your appearance with a glance. He smiled. He opened his mouth to speak more than paused. Cove checked the time using the clock hanging on the wall and addressed his parents. We've got to go. He abruptly headed towards the door.
Come on.
Where's the fire? Isn't there something you want to do before leaving the dance? Cove froze, wincing at the call out while his dad continued to smile encouragingly. Curious, he watched Cove expectantly. It was hard to imagine that he would want to do something before heading out, or what you'd have time for. Your mom's warning about not taking too long echoed in the back of your mind.
Come on.
We can do that later. Alright, sorry, forget I said anything. Have a blast, you two. You waved goodbye before following Cove into the street. Cove sighed, wrapping his hand across his forehead. Seeing the look on your face, he shook his head.
It's okay.
I'm fine. It's nothing. That was good news. He didn't think Cove would get much fun out of this party if he went already feeling bad, but it didn't explain his actions or his dad's teasing question. What was your dad on about? His expression grew pained. His brows creased and his mouth furrowed as he avoided meeting you in the eyes. Aww! You might have gotten worried if not for the flush coloring his face. He's just embarrassed. Cove drew himself up before responding. This is so cute. Dad's been making a big deal about everything ever since he found out about this. He gestured vaguely between him and you. How I'm dressed, how I should prepare, what is going to happen. He even looked up in the precise definition of a soiree in 2 dictionaries in case one was wrong. Wow. He wanted to make sure I would know what to do at once, so after he figured it out, he made sure to tell me about it. He smiling sheepishly.
Don't worry about it.
Sorry for complaining, it's not your fault. It's not really his fault either. It's okay. Thanks, I was trying to get somewhere with that. Both my dad and mom insisted that since it was kind of a date and kind of a fancy party, I needed to give you something for inviting me. The conclusion of the story caught you by surprise. You blinked, unsure if you slacked too much on your own preparations for tonight. You got me a present?
That's,
Not really, just this. Hee hee. Well, what's hee hee? Right? Just this. Cove reached behind him to take something out of a back pocket. Arasas, what am I doing? It's just a date between 13-year-olds. It's cute. His hand returned to view with him holding a single small orchid by the stem. Aww! He offered it to you without meeting your gaze, finding the ritual too embarrassing to face head on. Oh, the orchid. Oh, that's so cute. I think we said that was one of our favorite flowers. It's not my favorite flower, but we're gonna joke with him. Cove shook his head affectionately, and it seemed he was finally able to lighten up again. Ara, you're really making me feel better about this. He said so sarcastically, now clearly feeling better. Thank you, Cove. Sorry I didn't get you anything. You didn't need to do this. You're so wonderful. I still like this one because it's from you, yeah. Yeah? You're welcome then, but I'll pick something else next time. Thanks. Then you accepted the flower for him. Cove straightened himself out in response. So, we're gonna be late if we keep standing here. Right, we better hurry. You returned home, Cove, until your moms welcomed you back. You didn't expect them to pile you out back outside immediately, but their urge was momentarily stifled as they caught sight of the flower clasped in your hand. Thankfully, other than sharing an infuriatingly knowing smile, they took it in stride and didn't say anything. Oh, thank God. Mom's smug look vanished as she caught sight of the clock. Purpose remembered your mom's whisked you out once more, into the car and off to your destination. Oh, they look so pretty. You pulled up at the country club. The sun had sunk deep into the horizon and the last light sleeping warming the oncoming night. Your mom's led the way to the space around the back where the event was being held. They placed the place had been transformed through decorations with smart tablecloth and elegant ribbons contributing to the festive atmosphere. Musicians dressed in matching black and white were settling up their instruments and flicking through pages of sheet music, and as promised, there was a table covered with plates of carefully prepared food. Destination reached, your parents rounded on you and Cove. Things haven't kicked off yet, but don't let that stop you from enjoying yourselves.
Have fun.
Have fun, we'll be around if you need us.
See you later.
See you. Bye. Cove waved your moms off. Once they retreated in the distance away, you found him watching you expectantly. What now? His voice was light, but from his wide eyes and the nervous glances, you could tell he was feeling out of his depth. We'll have to wait for some things to start, like the band, but there's stuff going on already. Cove perked up at that.
Really?
Oh, do you want to do any of those, whatever they are? You introduced Cove. No, he did snacks. We can go eat some food now, even if the music hasn't started yet.
Oh?
That's okay, it's not too soon. I knew you'd come just for the free food. I did not. The two of you wandered over to the refreshment table with it being early in the night. It had barely been touched, and the plates were nearly as pristine as when they left the kitchens. The offerings were all tiny and bite-sized, ready to be picked off and sampled. It was immediately apparent that there was plenty to choose from. Just from the level of care with which it was presented, it was clear that this was fancy stuff. Cove stared at one plate, then another, confused.
Maybe?
I think I know some of this. And only some of it is any good? Gross. I don't. I know that there's usually food, but not what it is. Cole smiled at his reaction, seemingly reassured that you were on the same level as him when it came to understanding high cuisine. Cove squared his shoulders as if gearing up for a match. His stance was familiar from all the times you've seen him preparing for some sporting event. I'm gonna try it. He picked up a plate and took one appetizer, then another and another. Soon you realized he was taking one of every single type. You gestured at his mounting plate of food. Why? Why not? You joined him. Maybe there'd be some hidden gems this time. It was worth a try. Cove nibbled his way through everything the cypress had. The results of his endeavor were mixed. He was revolted by some of the things he tried, only openly screwing up his face and rushing to find a drink to wash the taste away. Yet these bad experiences didn't stop him from plowing on, moving on to the next snack with an open mind. Excuse me? There were some foods he was neutral about, dismissing them with a shrug. But best of all were his reactions when he stumbled across something good. Each time Each time caught him by surprise, his expression morphing from wary curiosity to skeptical interest before making way for astonished enjoyment. Regardless about how he felt was currently eating, you could tell he was having a good time just being free to eat whatever he laid his eyes on. You thought that was nice too. Better not tell you now, for the 8-ball being sus. After going through a round of sampling, he moved on to something else. He took a seat to relax. We should pick out a table. Okay. You found a place to sit at the edge of the party area where it was quieter with fewer people bustling around. You pulled out a chair and sat down. Cove, already seated, was stretching. These clothes are kind of uncomfortable. He flexed an arm at the elbow, frowning before twisting it back behind him. Yeah? My arms can't move the same as normal, like I'm gonna rip it off if I do anything. Wish I dressed in regular clothes too. Jealous? You fit in better. I made the right call. Jealous? So mega sus? Apparently, the 8-ball is mega sus, yes. Yeah, Dad wouldn't have let me come dressed like that. He toyed with one of the cuffs of his shirt, wedging a finger between the fabric and his skin. Now that you had a spot of your own, you stayed chatting with Cove at the table. In no time at all, the sun set in full, the lights faded in, and the opening notes of the band's first song rang out. You and Cove stopped what you were doing, turning to contemplate the party that had been steadily unfurling while you were distracted. It was much busier now, both in terms of people and activity. The first steps were taken on the dance floor, some tentative, others eager, and even if the band hadn't been playing, the constant level of chatter would have ensured that it wasn't a quiet night. With the party now in full swing, your options had increased. Let's ask Cove to dance. Cove, can I have the pleasure of your company on the dance floor? Like, yes, let's be so formal. Cove looks like, what the fuck are you doing? Cove raised his eyebrows in surprise at your eloquent invitation. Even though it was a dance party, he hadn't anticipated this outcome. You watched him shake off his shock and smile delicately. Oh, Ribbit, Ribbit! Hello, Froggy! How are you doing? How are you doing? We're playing Our Life Beginnings and Always. It's good to see you. We're about to dance with Cove, I think. Don't mind Ara, she's just being sus. What am I doing? It's just a little date. It's just a date. It's their first date. It's cute. It's not sus. I have to, don't I? It's a date. That's right. Still smiling, Cove carefully held out his hand to you. You accepted it gladly and headed out with him to the dance floor. You took your places standing before each other, hands still entwined. Frowning, Cove assessed the situation, trying to puzzle it out like a math problem before putting... Aw, dating is sus. Before putting his remaining free hand on your shoulder. To be honest, a lot of my first dates... Well, can't say. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, Froggy, you got a sub badge now. The 3-month, I believe. Yeah, 3-month. We got new sub badges. Should we reposition his hand, or should we be happy with the way we're dancing? I think we'll be happy with it because I think it's kind of cute, them dancing all awkwardly. Cove was comfortable with this stance, and the arrangement was good for you too. You were eye to eye with him now. At this distance, there was little else to do than look at other than those aquamarine irises. The music had begun. You both moved, eagerly trying to catch up to it, but your feet took you in the opposite directions. Fumbling, the two of you shuffled from side to side, attempting to mirror each other's movements, but always winding up at odds. Ara wants the Netflix option. The sub badge is Trixie. Yeah, it's Trixie in the hat. And I don't want the Netflix option. I kept it at the wholesome option where they're just holding hands. All awkwardly. It was difficult. Cove was struggling just coordinating his own limbs to the rhythm, let alone matching your movements. When Cove's foot ghosted over yours, it was decided it'd be safest for everyone if you simply swayed to the tune. You rooted yourself to the floor, so no watching movies. Shame. We watched a movie in one of the other scenarios. We watched a horror movie and it was awful. No! Not that Sebastian when I'm on a date with Cove. Well, and what you mean not wholesome? Was Ara thinking sussy? Oh my gosh. Thank you for petting Trixie Froggy. And thank you for the bonk. Right, I guess I deserve that. Gratefully, Cove kept his movements small and subtle in the same way. Oh no! Oh no, Froggy! But 69 pets, nice! It was always fine for a little while. You weren't going to win any dancing accolades with Cove, but it was pleasant to simply share the experience with him. Cove stepped out of sync with the music knocking against you. He flinched back, nearly pulling you over in the process. Oh no, Froggy! Froggy, come back! Sacrifice our... Oh no. Funny what? Funny hashtag? What star? You took a hand from him and held it up, halting proceedings so you could get your bearings once more. Oh no! Not the boop! Oh my gosh, that boop always... Oh yeah, how's the game volume? I forgot to ask, how's the game volume? Fight God. That's fought Trixie! And 98 scratches and 48 lost 45 HP. Trixie remains unharmed. You quietly took it. It's okay. We should have stuck to the hokey pokey. Really? What? Really? Really what? I'm signing you up for dancing lessons. Dancing is harder than I thought. It's okay. Quietly took a break. Instead of laughing, Cove looked off. Maybe we should have. 144 scratches. That's a lot of scratches too. Why am I getting bonked? What did I do? What did I miss something? I'll live. Then you took Cove's hands once more and gingerly resumed swaying to the music. Cove reluctantly followed suit. His steps small and apprehensive. He mumbled something quietly. The jar is not a command, but it is a redeem. RR has been put milk put into the jar filled with milk. What? No! It's not filled with milk! This is a long song. You weren't sure how to take that, whether it meant that something was wrong or Cove really didn't like dancing, or if he didn't like dancing with you specifically. It made the last couple of minutes of the song uncomfortable as you weighed up what to do and what to say to Cove. When the musician blah, 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 blah. Funny hashtag. What? I'm confused, Star. When the musicians laid down their instruments, Cove dropped your hands as they were burning him. He trailed off the dance floor as quickly as he could without breaking into an outright run. Never mind, did I miss something again? In truth, you bet that it was even faster than most people. I'm a clown. Yes, I'm a clown. I'm dumb. I don't get things sometimes. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. In truth, you bet that it was even faster than most people here could manage. You had difficulty tailing him before he could get lost in the crowd. When you caught up, he said nothing. You tried to get him to doing something else, but eliciting anything from him was now impossible. You focused over Cove, wondering how he was finding the evening. He sighed. It was so quiet and unobtrusive that you wouldn't have caught it if you hadn't been watching him. Ah, hello, Shady Man. Thank you for redeeming my least favorite thing, Boop. Because I hate hearing my own voice. His gaze was roaming. With how are you doing? With how far? Oh, thank you for petting Trixie Haru. His gaze was roaming. With how far away his eyes seemed, whatever he was searching for couldn't be found at this party. He turned to face you before you could say anything. I want to sit down. We can do that. Cove began to move you, and you instinctively followed him. Yes. Oh my gosh. No! 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 That's not fair! Cove began to move and you instinctively followed him, yet instead of taking a seat at one of the many free tables he expected, Cove ignored them and he perfectly strode out of the party area. I get a bonk too. I'm getting so many bonks today, what did I do? Cove? You called it and seemed to register with him as he continued forward, out onto the greens of the golf course. You went after him trying to watch out for the uneven... Oops, clicked the wrong one, boop. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want me to redeem it for you? Trying to, underfoot. It's okay, okay. You went after him trying to watch out for the uneven ground underfoot. The clods of the earth dislodging in games of golf were perfect for snatching unwary feet, even in daylight. Up ahead, Cove didn't appear to have any difficulty at traversing the uneven land. Aww. He settled down. This is pretty though, the lake. He settled down on one of the little hills of the golf court. You joined him, still unsure over what was going on. Oh my gosh, everyone's booping and bonking me. Look at us breaking the rules. Cove, startled as he acted on instinct at your statement, brought him back to reality again. He tilted his head curiously. What? We're not supposed to be out here.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. You say that, but you're not getting up to leave. He looked sheepish over his now knowing troublemaking. Yeah, it's nice here. You can go back to the party. You didn't budge from your spot. From here, the party was just a glowing haze in the distance. You didn't want to leave him behind. You shook your head. I don't want to go without you, and not unless you want to. Are you practicing your RR? Because I have 3.5k points. Oh no! Ah! It's so embarrassing to practice. Oh no. Oh, thanks. Now that Cove was more at ease, he tried to find out what had caused him to take flight in the first place. Just say it oh, okay. Does the party make you uncomfortable? It upset you that Cove had been unhappy attending an event with you, but logically you knew the issue was likely the event rather than your company. Was it the dancing? His abrupt departure from what was another indicator that something had gone awry. What? Oh my gosh, that what? It's just... That what was so funny. No. He shook his head empathetically. It's not anything I did tonight. It's definitely not anything you did either. You nodded, relieved to have your suspicions confirmed. Cove attempted to fill gaps of understanding. I don't want to think about going back to the party. I just feel ready to go home. To your home planet. To your home planet? Cove didn't appear to notice your joke, leaving you to Magic Planet Cove all by yourself. You hoped it would be an aquatic world. Aww. Cove sat there quietly gazing out into the shadowy hills of valleys and the golf course. A comfortably warm wind rustled between you two, tussling his hair. It was so far away from the hubbub of the party, you could even make out the quiet sounds of crickets chirping. This is kind of how we first met, do you remember? Oh, thank you for the social start. Of course I do. You liked him from the very first day. It's so weird, that was a long time ago now. You thought back to the day when Cove first arrived in the neighborhood. He had run away from Mr. Holt and taken solace in the hills behind your house. Oh, 16% pog. Oof. Yeah. That had been late too. On a clear night like today, looking at the sky, you wonder if the stars that were looking down were the same ones as then. Cove's face was brighter, though you could still see the signs of strain that had caused him to depart from the soiree. When he first sat down, he had curled up like a pillbug, hunched over, knees pressed to his chest and arms wrapped around them. He'd unwound as you'd been talking, straightening up his hands free to gesticulate. It was as though the two of you had constructed your own little world away from everything else, and he was beginning to perk up. The small smile that crept onto his face was quickly ushered away by a frown. He sounds so... I can't believe I'm on a date. Cove followed up on the statement before you could react. He spoke in a distinctly whispered tone, as though you were the only one in the world he could share these words with. After I said I wanted to come, I wanted to take it back. Not because I really didn't want to do it, because I don't know. It seemed like a big deal. It made me feel bad somehow. I started feeling like I couldn't do it, even though I just wanted to do it. I guess it was sort of like having to give a presentation in front of the class, even though it was just me and you doing something like we always do. He charged on, his words streaming out. I still could do it because thinking about not being there with you and what you might think if I did take it back made me feel way worse than whatever else I felt.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Ara. I'm sorry I can't just deal with stuff like this and have to make everything so complicated. Aww. You don't need a... I'm sorry I made you feel bad. I don't want to be here if you don't want to be here. You smiled at him. Then took his hand and then placed his hand. Then you leaned against him. You ruffled his hair. You hoped he would feel better. Ruffling his hair is really cute, but... not placing your hand on his shoulder. Where is the kiss option? I don't think they're ready for that. They're barely 13. They have time. Well, should we take his hand or ruffle his hair? That's like the options I'm going in between. Hand. I think we should take his hand. I remember when I was 13. Take his hand? Okay. His skin was cool to the touch, his fingers coiled delicately around yours. He finally moved his head to look you straight on, eyes meeting yours. Thanks for inviting me, Ara. You stared back at him, not comprehending. But didn't it make you feel bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did when I had to think about how I was actually doing it, but getting to hear that you wanted me to come made me feel good.
It's nice.
I'm happy when you think about me, when you want me to be there. When I just do it and you're with me, it all feels better in the end. Aww. You felt a tug on your hand and found Cove in the process of standing up. You joined him on your feet. You tilted, what's up? Cove smiled awkwardly, brushing some grass off the side of his pants.
Wanna dance with me?
Oh! That's so cute! This is so fucking cute! Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die of cuteness! Your eyes widened involuntarily. You were not expecting that after what happened earlier. The reaction didn't escape notice. It's a dance party, right? And I think... He trailed off, brow furrowed as he was trying to figure out the answer to himself. Nodding slowly, he continued. I think I want to dance with you again before it's over. With the only words he had to explain gone, he just held up his hand to you. His expression was soft. I want to dance with you too. Then you reached for his hand and took it in yours once more. Cove grinned and his chest rose with a deep breath he took. You returned hand in hand with the party reaching the end of a long evening. Dancing couples had become scarce. One among many were hard to notice, but now that the space around you would act as a spotlight, not that there were many left to watch you. He was still at ease, even buoyed by the dissipated crowd. This time there was a spring in his step as you walked onto the dance floor together. Cove had kept hold of your hand you had given him back on the little hill. He rested the other on your shoulder. Aww. Cove hesitated while you waited for a sign. With the song in progress before you stepped out into the dance, there was no signal for the right moment to begin. The same thought occurred to Cove, who shrugged his shoulders and with keeping form. Taking your to the starting point, you cautiously began to sway. Cove readily followed your example. You danced wordlessly, dimly aware of the music guiding you. You were more focused on Cove, whose attention was firmly fastened on you. Aww. Unlike before when he had nervously looked down his feet as if trying to keep them in check, his eyes were steady. He didn't even allow himself to be shaken when your knees knocked against each other and you both briefly fumbled your steps. Instead, he smirked. He wanted to take this dance in stride in more ways than one. You were utterly at peace, safe and relaxed in his presence. The little slip-up, the whole evening really, only served to underline how nothing could dent the foundation of your friendship. All too soon the song reached its conclusion. You could have continued contently for some time more. Oh, this is so cute. You and Cove let go of each other, though your feet remained rooted to where they had been when the song finished. You heard your name called out, and that brought the dance truly to an end. You both spun to find Mom yelling for you and Cove. Beside her, Mom was shaking her head.
Sorry.
It's time to go home, Lonnie. Wait, it's time to go home. Time to go home, Lonnie. I had to get hold of them somehow. What did you want me to do? Sneak up on them? Her chosen method was admittedly better than that. You still cringe at how and where you had been when she announced her arrival. Cove looked so embarrassed that that you worried about him making another dash away from the party. Aww. Despite Cove's reaction to the scene with your moms, it had been a perfect ending to the evening. You were so glad you got a chance to dance with Cove once more before the night was over. And it was definitely over now. You didn't need to say anything to Cove. The two of you marched wordlessly over to your parents, who were still bickering playfully. Standing shoulder to shoulder, your parents surveyed you and Cove. You wonder if they were checking that they were returning Mr. Holden's sons in the same state that he left the house. That was quite a night, huh, gang? Wasn't it just? Cove managed a self-conscious smile. Yeah. Ma was smiling too, with an expression so soft it could have cradled a newborn chick. Aww. And how was your very first date? Please don't start on them already. It technically hasn't even ended yet. Fine. Well, good. Well, we better get ready ourselves to get back to Elizabeth. If we're lucky, the house might still be standing. Oh, shush. She swatted your mom playfully, laughing at the comments. Watch you throwing like a mega party. You cast one look at the party. You saw people exchanging farewells and suppressing yawns. Most of the faces were happy ones, despite the wariness that were starting to creep in. Cove's head was angled away from you as you watched, wondering what he was looking at. He came around and met your gaze. It was strange, though it had only been a few hours of your life. You felt a little older as a result of attending the party. It was like a step away from the world of your childhood, where dressing up is reserved almost exclusively as a form of play towards something new that you hadn't yet grasped. Turning away from the final moments of the party, you shelved that thought for another time as your mom eagerly led the way back to the car. As you and Cove tailed after them, you felt childlike once more. Aw, that's so cute. Okay, let's save and end the summer. Okay. And then the summer ended. Yes, we did everything. Yay! That was so cute. We're going to be 18, I believe? There was no denying it. Today was the very last day of summer. Tomorrow you were heading to class. It was a bummer. Anxiety gnawed at your stomach. Going back to school meant handing over... Sus. What's sus about that? What's sus about that? Finally 18, kissing is legal. So... okay. Going back to school meant handing over the autonomy you had over the past weeks. You had very little control over what you did at school or who you shared your class with. It was with a heavy heart that you chose your outfit for the final day of freedom. Life was going to be different, but you'd come to think of the summer vacation as the norm. But school sucked up the majority of the year, whereas the summer vacation had just a respite in the middle. So rather than it being different, it was kind of returned to the normal. What did your normal life really mean? You considered how fondly your moms talked about their summer vacations as kids. You dimly recognized that one year the pattern of school and summer itself would be over for good. It was hard to imagine. You got distracted, one arm still at the sleeve. You pulled it through and put your mind back to the present. Kiss of Sebastian. This season had brought about plenty of changes of its own, like Kyra's visit, though that too was coming to an end today. Oh, I liked her. I want to see more of her. You were happy you finally got a chance to know her. You had become extremely fond of her. The neighborhood was about to feel a lot emptier. You finished dressing, which was good. Cove would be there any moment. You agreed to see his mom off together. Officially, the plan was that he would come over to bring you around to his house when she was ready to set off, but you both knew that you'd just be hanging out for at least a little while beforehand. Kyra's visit had troubled Cove when it first happened. It had been a sudden change thanks to Mr. Holden's infamous tendency to surprise people, but once he was able to adjust, he'd been in pretty good spirits with her around. It was a relief for everyone. You turned to your desk where the box containing your accessory resided. You got on and brought several anklets. You eyed your board in the box. Should you wear anything for a visit today? Let's put our one ankle bracelet. As you started to hoop through the class, you had to wonder if Cove would spot what you'd done, and how you react if he did. A cheeky grin grew on your face. The next thought that crossed your mind was, if it would only be polite to get the door for Cove, you went downstairs to wait. You couldn't wait to see Cove, so you went downstairs to meet him when he arrived. Cove knew your house well enough you could lounge in your room and wait for him. We can't wait to see him. You bounded down the stairs, your hand gliding over the rail. You wanted to make sure you got it there first. If you didn't hurry, your moms might answer it. It was only a few minutes later when the doorbell rang. As you chosen to stand beside it to wait for Cove, there was no delay in pulling it open. Cove was there just as you expected. Seeing you, he flashed you a bright grin.
Hey.
Hi, Ara. Hi. Smiling, you beckoned him to come in and follow you upstairs. Back in your room, you sat down on your bed and waited for Cove to settle in as you knew he would. With the other guests, you might have offered them a seat, but you and Cove were long past those tentative stages of friendship. Your room was as familiar to him as his own. You watched Cove as he sat down in your desk chair's preferred spot. He rolled it closer to the bed to make it easier to chat, tweaking the angle so that he was fully facing you. Once happy with the position, he leaned in towards you, hand held in his laps. His actions were ones of someone who planned on moving from his spot anytime soon, even though you had an appointment to keep together that day. When is your mom leaving?
Don't worry about it.
We've got some time. She's still got to shower and stuff before she goes. She didn't want me to just keep hanging around while she kept doing that. Sus? What's sus? Ask when mom leaves. Oh my gosh. Ah! Thank you for the hydrate star. Excuse me? Why those two want to be alone, huh, Sussy? Because they're best friends. He lifted his head as gaze drifting out the window and chuckled. I can't believe she's already leaving just when I'm getting used to her being there every day. He leaned back in the chair, a wry smile tickling his cheeks. She'll be back. Time's going by so fast, he nodded. Yeah, she'll be back. He cocked his head thoughtfully before shrugging. He ran a hand through his hair before shaking his head, shaking off the topic like a dog whipping off water following a dip in the sea. Cove looked back to you, lips parted as he was about to speak, but instead his eyes widened and his mouth closed into a tiny frown. Something had caught his attention. Something wrapped around where the end of your leg met your foot. He cast his eyes back to your face and down to your ankle, and back to your face. He repeated the process twice more as if struggling to hold the two items in tandem. To do a jigsaw puzzle, of course. Oh, yeah, that's what they're doing. Maybe he was weighing up whether this could be a coincidence or not. Maybe he was just too tired to verbalize his thoughts, or was still trying to find the words, and this was the most he could manage. The intention made you feel thrilled, regretful, pleased, amused, bashful, amused. It was hard not to laugh at Cove's scrambled response. You stifled your laughter with a hand clasped firmly around your mouth. Even so, you could feel the way the smile lifted your face. On his next glance back to your face, Cove saw your expression had shifted. You watched as his bewilderment eroded into mortification as he realized that he had been caught staring. This is so cute. He quickly spun in the chair to face the wall instead, allowing you to glimpse the flush that had spread all the way to his ears. His embarrassment finally wore off enough for him to pipe up again. I hope you're not doing that to make fun of me. What do you mean? You know what I said before on the road trip. What did you say before? Cove groaned. Oh! Luffy! Thank you so much! Thank you for subscribing! How are you? Yeah. How are you doing? We got sub badges now. We're playing Our Life Beginnings and Always, and we're gonna grow up to 18 after this scene. I'm at work dying right now. Oh no! Oh no! I hope everything goes well. The sun is strong. Oh, that reminds me, in my sister's car, it was so hot. It was so hot. Like, outside it was fine, but in her car, we were like boiling. It was awful, so I can only imagine if, like, what it was like outside. Like, I don't know where you are, but here where I live, the sun is like really bad too. Cove groaned, tilting his head up to the ceiling. He had not bought your act. Why do I ever tell you things? How does it look? You lifted your leg up and pointing it towards the chair so you could get the best view. Cove just huffed a response and he jerked his face to the side. You waited patiently, not taking your eyes off him or lowering your foot until he gave in. With a roll of the eye, he conceded.
Nice.
I think it looks good. Cove prodded an accusing finger in your direction. But thank you for being here, Luffy. I appreciate it. But you already knew that because I told you. His comment drew a grin from you. He smiled back. The final shadows of his frantic initial reaction swept aside. Cove perched an elbow on the chair's arm and propped his jaw against his curled hand. There was a natural ease to his movements, a familiarity from the echoes of all the times before when he sat in the same position. This was a really nice summer. And I've had better? That's so mean. It was alright, totally. I'm looking forward to the next. Cove still nestled cozily in your chest, smiled at your response. So wholesome. I appreciate you, Tuara. Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, he has fish. What did we name the fish? Earlier asked when the mama leaves so sus. She's gonna. Yeah, fish. We got to name one of the fish. I forgot what we named it though. How are you? Oh, we named it Abracadabra. That's right. That was Froggy's suggestion, I believe. How are your fish doing? Really good. Things in the tank are stable and everybody looks healthy. That was nice to hear. You learned from Cove how hard it was to maintain an aquarium. Oh, yeah, Abracadabra. Abracadabra has been busy. Keep starting between the plants and out again when I walk by like a game of peekaboo. Or hide and seek. I had a fish called Fishay. That's cute. Yeah. Cove idly glanced out of the window. He gave a resigned sigh. It's gonna be harder to surf, you know, with school. It's getting colder out. I don't want to get rusty. Sorry, Cove. I like surfing, but I wish you liked me. I don't know how I'm gonna go on without surfing. I wish I could do it more outside of summer. He gave a light smile coupled with a shrug as response. Won't be long until we get our grades for that summer work we did. Cove's wings fluttered as he huffed, sinking into the chair. I'm not looking forward to that. We'll just have to see what mine are like. Cove looked at you, eyes bright. Things will work out, I know it. Oh yeah, Miranda! That girl that had the birthday party. Do you think we'll see Miranda around this school year? Probably. She could be in one of our classes again. It would be nice to see you again. You'd hope that you see her often. Yeah, it'd be nice to see her again. Ara, Cove! The sudden call from downstairs caught you both unaware. You nearly forgotten the world outside your room. From the guilty look on his face, Cove had done the same. Just had a call. Cove's mom is ready to go. If you're quick, she might keep the mandated motherly smothering to a minimum. You doubted that, but it was nice that Mom and Mrs. Priest had their strange sense of humor in common. Your eyes met Cove's. Wordlessly, you headed downstairs together. Each step of the way there was painfully slow, like he was trying to delay the inevitable. His whole body tensed, leaving the house, and Cove froze altogether before you both could cross the street. The door's open. Dad must be taking your stuff out. He swallowed hard. She's really gonna leave. Smiled at him. You weren't sure what to say or how to react other than being there to support him. Cove's bottom liquidity as he turned away. Thanks. At that, some of the conflict wearing off his face eased a bit. Together you went across the street and inside his house, finding his parents in the living room surrounded by his mom's packed things. Hey kids. Good timing, I just called the taxi. Hi, and hi Ara, so glad I got to see you today. It was fabulous getting to know you this summer. I finally got to put a face to the name I've heard so many times. She winked and Cove pouted on cue over the teasing. That's so cute. Bye. I'm really happy I got to meet you too. Hopefully it won't be too long before we see each other again. Nodding, Kyra turned her, or was that us? Nodding, Kyra turned her attention back to her boys. She patted Cliff on the arm with a warm smile, then she enveloped Cove in a crushing hug. Initially, Cove squirmed to break free from her grip, but his mom was unfazed and kept him locked in place. Heartbeats later, he gave in and hugged her back tightly. Aww.
I'm so glad.
I'm so happy that this trip was a success. Cliff looked like he was bursting with pride. And then Cove stiffened. Kyra loosened her hold on him enough to study his face concerned. She spoke her next words in a whisper that had been just meant for her son.
What do you think?
Do you want to unshelve it? Raising an eyebrow, Cliff watched him carefully. His smile began to falter.
What's wrong?
What's wrong? Oh, he said what's wrong and I said what's wrong. I didn't have to read that. Cove sighed and his gaze flickered over to you for a moment, and then, as quick, it was back on his parents.
It's okay.
It's alright.
Really?
Are you sure? I don't want to do it now. I could tell later. Nervously, you watched the exchange with the growing suspicion that Cove didn't want to have the conversation while you were there. You wonder if you should offer to leave when Kyra gave Cove a pat on the head.
All right.
You can always call me if you want to be a part of the conversation, okay? I'll call. Thanks, Mom. Cliff still looked baffled about what Kyra and Cove were referring to, but you watched as his shoulders slowly relaxed. You figured that he decided to wait for Cove to be ready to talk to him. And with Cliff's silence, things seemed to be settled for now. After that, it wasn't long before the taxi arrived, rolling up in front of the house in the clear view of the open door. Kyra stood up, smiling sadly. Well, that's my ride. Yeah. The matching reply got a chuckle out of Kyra as you filed out of the house, father and son went with Kyra's bags in hand. Once outside, you spotted your family waiting by the street, and to your surprise, Derek was also with them. He stood uncomfortably, and he waved as soon as you noticed him.
What's up?
Hey, Ara. Hi, Cove. When did you get here? My dad dropped me off just a little bit ago. Thought I could visit one more time before school started.
Sorry.
You picked a busy time, sorry. Derek couldn't even look at Cove. He nervously kept rolling a pebble with the bottom of his shoe.
Sorry.
I wasn't even thinking that your mom would be leaving today. I'm sorry, dude. What? What? You're not interrupting anything. You're always welcome here. It would have been sad if I didn't get to say goodbye before leaving. I think so too. It was apparent Derek would have preferred to have gotten there at a more opportune moment. He never liked seeming impolite, but their reassuring words soothed his worries. The tension he was holding in his body lessened, and he looked like he was feeling much more like himself. Bye, Derek. It was fun getting to know you. Bye, ma'am. Is there anything I could do to help? Nah, don't worry yourself over that. We're just about set. In that short amount of time, Cliff had gathered and packed the bags into the trunk. Kyra took one last look at everyone inside. Alright, I don't want to keep the driver waiting. It's time to head out. The little crowd that had formed around started the chorus of farewells and well wishes traveling, but Kyra still made no move to get into the taxi. She placed her intention on Cove. I'll call when I get to the airport and when I make it to Nevada. Also, you better call the moment you walk into the door at home, otherwise we'll be wondering all night if you got into trouble on the way there.
Can do.
I can do that. And could you also call tomorrow too so I can tell you how school went? Of course, I want to hear all about it. Kyra put a hand on Cove's head and affectionately ruffled his hair one last time. She then let go only to move on to squeezing his cheeks in her hands instead. Mom! I love you so much, baby. She was chuckling by the time she freed him and rounded things off with a small tap on the tip of his nose. She booped him! Cove rubbed at his face with a grin. Finally, she walked to the car while waving. She took her seat in the taxi. Cliff hooked around Cove's shoulder and kept him close as it began to pull away. For a moment, Cove looked up at his dad, then wrapped an arm across his back. Bye, Mom. Yeah, boop. I was wondering if anyone was gonna boop. Bye, travel safe. Kyra rolled down the window and stuck her head out of it. She waved again while blowing kisses at Cove and Cliff. See you again. Before she was outside, you decided to wait goodbye, watch Kyra call out with your family and hers. You added your voice to the others. You watched Kyra's smile grow larger. The cab turned down another road and completely disappeared from view. Cove let go of his dad and took a few steps out in the empty street, still looking in the direction of his mom went. He smiled quietly, deep in thought. You got the impression Cove was feeling better than he was earlier. He was finally content with the way things were. The summer breeze brought a sweet-sounding jingle across the way. It was the wind chime you had given Cove. Oh, the dolphin one! He had hung it at the front of his house and it had become a very familiar sound in this neighborhood. You jumped a bit when your mom had put a hand on your shoulder, pulling you away from your thoughts. She smiled when you looked at her. This was a great vacation, huh? You're not in agreement? I don't think so. Yeah? You shrugged. Summer isn't over until the second I fall asleep. No naps for you, then. Can't risk you accidentally ending summer a few hours too early for the rest of us. Chuckling, you shook your head amused. Cove walked back over to the group, still genuinely happy. Derek grinned at him unwelcomely, and everyone else there smiled at him, even Elizabeth. Well? Maud clasped her hands together, bringing everyone's attention back to the present. It's almost lunchtime. I think I'll put something special together. Her eyes sparkled with a plan and Mom smiled. I bet you could use some help with that. That'd be absolutely wonderful. Derek glanced between the two, his eyebrows furrowed. Is there something I could do? Your mom's exchanged a fond expression. Ma shook her head. That's sweet. That's very sweet, Derek, but it's alright. That's not your job. Technically, your dad left you under Cliff's watch. You're meant to be taken care of by him, not doing chores for the neighbors. Mom laughed a little out of her own joke. You watched Derek look away discouraged.
It's okay.
It's okay, I don't mind. He was a little bashful about it. You wonder if Mom's joke had just reminded him that he was initially meant to be invited to lunch. It was getting a little awkward. Mom grinned sympathetically. Her comment was meant to lighten the mood, not to bring it back down. Ma tried again to get things moving forward. Why don't you kids go have fun? You could come back in about an hour. We'll make enough for everyone. Mom nodded in agreement.
Sounds good.
Another stunning idea, Lonnie. Thanks.
Thank you.
That sounds like a plan. Then I don't want to cramp your style. I've got some stuff to work on, so I can be out of your hair this afternoon. You should come by later too. No reason you should be the odd man out. Mom seemed amused as Cliff rubbed his neck nervously. He grinned a wavering but pleased smile.
Thanks very much.
I appreciate the invite. He looked over the assembled crowd with knowing glances. I can help too with as many people as you're feeding. That's going to be a lot of food. Didn't you hear what we told Derek? It wouldn't be fair to make you cook when we're the ones who are inviting you in. Ma raised an eyebrow when Cliff waved it off.
Come on.
I insist. So Derek would be missing time with his pals. This would be a break for me. I'm quite the chef. Ma and Mom exchanged further glances before Mom shrugged.
True.
An airtight argument. If you're sure, we'll be happy to have you, Chef Cliff. Cliff's grin widened and seemed more hyped than you expect him to be about helping with lunch. Cove shook his head and a fond smile on his face. Then all of us grown-ups will be heading inside. I assume the rest of you kiddos are staying out? Maybe not all of them. Oh yeah, Elizabeth. She always looks so pissed. Ma tilted her head. A silent question for Elizabeth. Your sister thought for a moment.
All right.
I'll stay with the kids.
That's fantastic.
Both their moms smiled at her while Derek and Cove didn't seem to appreciate her phrasing. But with the plan decided, all three parents waved and headed for your house. It was just you teenagers now. Elizabeth looked at you and the others with a curious expression on her face. So, what now? You silently wondered if Elizabeth only stayed out with you to avoid getting roped into work. Then again, she could genuinely just want to hang out. You couldn't tell with your sister. Cove spoke up after no one did to answer Elizabeth's question. When I go down to the shopping street, it's been a while and I don't think there's a lot of other things we could agree on. Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
Sounds awesome to me. Unlike you guys, I haven't been there 1,001 times. It's news to me. Let's do it. You strolled... I didn't know there was going to be another cutscene after this. Okay, that's fine. This is cute. You strolled across the road as a group down the beach, then to the left. It took less than 15 minutes to arrive. One of the conveniences was Sunset Bird. The four of you looked around at the familiar shop, trying to see if anything caught their attention this time. Derek was the most enthusiastic. He checked out every stall with his eyes wide in wonder. Elizabeth and Cove were in good spirits as well. That's so cool! He ran over the street to the street magician who was currently doing a card trick for a group of enchanted tourists. Derek clapped when the magician showed a middle-aged man his card. Derek turned back to the group with a clear gleam on his face. A magician! It's my long-lost brother. Or uncle, or whatever, I don't know. What does it take to perform here anyway? Do you have to ask somebody, or do you just show up and start doing stuff? Would you even ask? It's a public street. Hey, Miss Mayor, can I pull a rabbit out of my hat, please? Flopsy is well behaved, I promise. Flopsy? That's so cute! Hey, that's a clown, not a magician! Derek chuckled, his eyes searching up and down the scene. Maybe there's a boss of the shopping street. No one does any of this around my neighborhood. It's just regular stores behind walls. It's different if someone wants a real store, but I'm pretty sure people are just putting on those shows wherever they want to and do whatever. That's so neat. Would we be allowed to do something too? Cove and Derek began almost vibrating with excitement. Elizabeth rolled her eyes. What would we do? Well, I don't know yet. What? Not yet, I mean. I just found out it's a possibility, you know? But there's gotta be something. We know cool stuff. I'm sure if we think about it, we could plan a show that really get a crowd pumped. Thought it was a great idea. I wanted to be a part. Do you think I could help out too? Of course. I know I could count on you. Now we just need to act. It'll come to us. Right. With some amusement, the gang continued to peruse the stalls. Elizabeth found some earrings with a dangly, badly misinterpreted globe that everyone laughed at. Cove picked out a blob as Iceland, but Derek thought that it had to be Greenland. You know, this is a world with what looks like 9 continents. I think you're both wrong. You backed up Derek. You wanted to side with Cove. No, it's Australia. The other 3 giggled at your interjection. Suddenly Cove's froze. You stared at him when he tried to see what caught his attention. When you saw a familiar face down the way, it made sense. Between the oh God, no! No, not Jeremy! Between the crowds, his bright hair stood out like a neon green bowl in a kitchen sink. It was Jeremy. Jeremy slowly drifted his eyes down the street and his eyes widened in mutual recognition. He definitely noticed you. Derek frowned and his Cove tensed up. You couldn't help but remember the time you'd last seen Jeremy at Miranda's birthday party. No wonder Cove was already defensive. You waved. He did not wave back. Elizabeth raised her eyebrow. Her gaze swept over Jeremy with a hint of a clue. Jeremy simply scoffed to himself and waded deeper into the crowd of people. Derek relaxed and exhaled loudly. I'm glad he's not gonna start anything. He peeked over at Elizabeth with a tiny smirk. See, that was the mean kid.
What?
Huh? She still didn't get it. The first summer day hadn't made nearly as much of an impression on her as it did for Derek, but he still smiled and waved it off. Just forget about him. I already have. He laughed and Cove smiled lightly. He seemed in a much better mood now that Jeremy was gone. Your eyes wander over to where Jeremy disappeared. You haven't forgotten the day you met him either. That was gonna be he was only going to be in town for a vacation with parents he hated. That glimpse was probably the last time you would ever see him. Let's go after Jeremy. I'll be back. Alright? I won't be long. Let's go see him, cause I You headed off after Jeremy. Let's end on a good note. Cause we tried to punch him before. And we threw our drink at him. He has a right to be pissed at us, but Let's try to end on a good note. You headed off after... Oh, nice punch. You headed off after Jeremy, cutting into the crowd as he disappeared into. It didn't take long until you spied his distinct figure. You caught up with him ducking in between a tourist couple and sidestepping the side street he wandered into. You took a breath. Jeremy? Oh my gosh, he looks so pissed. Ooh, 165 scratches. Oof. Jeremy's slouched posture stiffened and his neck turned to look over his shoulder. His scowl deepened when he saw it was you. What now? The voice I gave him. He glowered at you tersely and the silence stretched between you. He wasn't going to say anything more. You're not going to be here much longer, are you? Oh, that's right. I'm amazed a pea-brain like you could figure that out without having to spell it out. So what? I'm leaving in a few days. School starts next week. It's not like I could live here and what? Teleport to classes? Pfft. I wish we could have gotten to know each other. Yeah. Jeremy's face scrunched up. Oh! Oh, thank you! Thank you, Haru, for subscribing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Saying that is pointless. Ugh, annoying. He stomped on his crowd vanishing to see other tourists. When you couldn't see him anymore, you shook his head. That was it then. Aw, the little emotes. You turned around and saw Cove, Derek, and your sister shuffling through the crowd. Derek saw you and ran forward, the other two following close. Aw, the hug emotes. Aw. Are you alright? I'm okay. I guess Jeremy won't be around anymore.
So what?
Who cares about the kid? Cove shrugged as she had a point kind of way you nodded. There wasn't anything else you could do about it now. Jeremy was like unlike anyone you met before. You thought he was kind of pivotal. You thought he was stupid. You thought he was weird. You thought he was horrible. You thought he was kind of okay. You didn't know. Yeah, we didn't know what to think about him. You and the group moved on from the stall and from Jeremy. It didn't take long for everyone to return to the joking. You all enjoyed the little time you have left. As Elizabeth mentioned, the hour was almost up. The little trip had flown by, and by lunch must have been waiting for you now. Derek bounced at the balls of his feet.
Yay.
Come on, guys. Let's get going to K. I'm starving. Can't wait. Cove stretched one of his arms lazily. Let's go then. You looked at him appraisingly. Oh my gosh! We're asking him to carry us back. Hey, Cove? Yeah? I wanted to ask you something. Could you carry me home? What? Cove smiles. Said he was amused while the tilt of his eyebrow was full of disbelief. You explained you wanted a piggyback ride. I kind of want a piggyback ride from somebody. I hope that's okay. Cove sighed and shook his head. Elizabeth and Derek became a chorus of laughter. Well, please, maybe? This is so cute. Alright. Cove stepped over to you. He looked like he couldn't believe what he was doing. Your lips quirked into a large smile. Thank you, Cove. He carefully crouched in front of you so you could climb on. It was hard to harp on. He slipped his arms. It wasn't hard to harp on. He slipped his arms under your legs and did his best to lift you. It was wobbly, but he managed to stand all the way up. Elizabeth watched with a smirk on her face while Derek laughed even harder. It was fair to say that your antics were entertaining. You were glad Cove went with it. Cove carried you home contentedly. Other than a few good-natured jokes at your expense, he didn't complain. He made it all the way back to your house without putting you down. Wow, he's strong. It was a pleasant walk home, and no time you made it back. Derek got to the front door and held it open for everyone as each of you moseyed inside. The three parents were still in the kitchen. They looked up and waved. Welcome back, everyone. You made it just in time.
Hey.
I hope you're hungry. That's so cute. We got a piggyback ride. That's so cute. When Cove had brought you inside, the parents couldn't help but notice the odd conveyance. Your moms were unsure, and Mr. Holden raised an eyebrow.
Everything okay?
Did you pull something, Ara? I'm okay. Oh, Cove, you got it so strong.
Good kid.
And reliable, too. What a guy. Cove rolled his eye as the commentary and then started walking to your couch. He bent down and let yourself plop back on the couch. Thank you, I appreciate it. Cove exhaled loudly and shook out his arm. He seemed just as relieved that he made it. So, did everyone have a nice time out? She gestured for the people to take a seat at the table. Plates and silverware have already been placed out. You took your normal seat. Elizabeth sat across from you. Derek took the seat to your left. Cove sat on your right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had a great time. It was fine. I had fun. Your joke got some chuckles going around the bank heist. Your joke got some chuckles going around the table. That's good in my book. Casually, Mr. Holden sat in the empty seat across from Cove. He smiled at you and all the other kids. Maud set down a platter of full water glasses on the table. She looked down at the gathering. It's a good thing we have 8 chairs. I can't remember the last time we had a group this big over for a meal. Can you pass the drinks down to the other side? Make sure you all get one. Sure. Those close to the cups obliged and started offering waters around. As everything got set up, Mom chided Elizabeth to take her elbows off the table.
No.
And you shouldn't slouch. She pointed to Mr. Holden, who was leaning forward with both arms on the table. Oops. Mr. Holden seemed unsure about all the sudden attention and carefully rearranged his posture to something suitable for a fancy dinner. He smiled sheepishly at Ma. Elizabeth rolled her eyes and Ma gave a level look at her. You shouldn't be impolite to a guest in the house either. Elizabeth groaned long and long-suffering. Ma giggled and Mr. Holden chuckled.
Not bad.
The lot of you can learn a thing or two from Derek. He has the best manners here. Derek blushed, but it was true. His posture was upright and formal. He even held his fork gracefully. His table manners, on top of all his attempts to aid your parents, made him the model of meal attendee behavior. That's so funny.
Aw.
It's nothing. It's true, though. You have been a lovely guest. I've noticed that, too. It's always nice when you stay over, Derek. Derek smiled and sat a little taller in his chair. Do you have anything good to say about our other guests? She deliberately looked at Cove with a teasing smirk. Or is there just nothing to say? Well, Cove is my number 1, but he does still clean his hands by wiping them on his pants. Not gonna lie, I do that too sometimes. Cove frowned at that and absentmindly brushed his hand on his pant legs. Your mom laughed lightly. Elizabeth, you should know after all these years, Cove is hardly a guest anymore. Cove smiled awkwardly. Thanks. Manners. Don't think I'm not seeing your elbows where they shouldn't be, Ara. Everyone ate their meal together and continued to hang out for the afternoon. After the food, you and the others played a couple games and talked about the plans for the upcoming year. The time passed quickly and soon it was time to part ways. Mr. Holden talked to your moms and Cove drifted over to you, knowing that as soon as his dad finished up, he would be leaving. It'd be cool to stay, but we have some stuff to do before everything closes today.
Okay.
Yeah, bye. Could I move? I need the phone. Could you move? I need the phone. Oh my gosh, Elizabeth. Cove raised an eyebrow and Elizabeth impatiently gestured behind him. Cove realized he was standing right in front of where the receiver was placed. His side stepped out of the way and shook his head, clearly thinking Elizabeth was rushing too much. Your sister made a beeline for the phone and started dialing the number of what you figured was one of her friends. Knowing Elizabeth, she was going to be on there for a while. You, Cove, and Derek shuffled closer to the door. It seemed like Mr. Holden was wrapping up his conversation, so everyone started saying their various farewells.
Talk to you later.
See you later, Cove. We gotta do this again sometime. Yeah, see you. Cove turned to you and smiled slightly. Bye, Ara. You hugged Cove. You stepped forward and spread your arms wide. Cove only had a moment to react before you encircled him in your arms. Cove hugged you back tightly and his chest rumbled as he laughed.
Dude.
Seriously, dude, we all have to hang out later. I'm gonna miss you during school. After Cove a high five and the two boys clapped their hands together. Cove and his dad left soon after that. Your parents started cleaning up the house and Elizabeth was still chatting to her friends on the phone. It was just you and Derek left. You elected to stay outside in front of the house to wait for his dad to pick him up. You decided to keep your dad's company, although he was originally Cove's visitor. A light summer breeze blew through your hair and Derek shifted his weight from foot to foot. Thanks for waiting with me. He kicked the ground distractedly. That's still gonna be a while, so do you want to go for a walk? Okay. So you walked down the street again, just wandering without a destination planned. It was a quiet stroll, too quiet for Derek being the company. You turned to him when you noticed that he wasn't saying a word. That was unusual. Derek always had something he could chat about. You weren't sure if you should ask about it. Somehow you ended up at the old park near the beach. You glanced over to Derek once more, still expecting him to say something any second now. However, nothing came from him. In fact, you noticed a frown creeping on his face. Derek smiled when he realized you were watching. At least his mouth turned up. There wasn't anything that really felt happy in the expression. When he turned away, the smile fell off his face. His eyes stared intently at the ground as you raised an eyebrow. If you want to talk about something, I'm here. I'm a little sad. Just with school starting back up again, it's gonna be harder to visit. I'm gonna have homework, clubs, and practices and everything else.
Sucks.
It really sucks we go to different schools. His face screwed up and his fists were closed tightly together. This was really concerning him. What if we don't have time? We'll make time. We can talk over the phone and have plans for weekends. It'll be okay. Derek looked up at the sky. It was orange and purple with little wisps of clouds scattered around. A plane flew high with a jet stream trailing behind it. Then he turned to the ground again. Derek's face was tilted far enough down that it was hard to read his expression. Hey, Ara, I actually want to talk to you about something if you don't mind. There was a pause and you waited for him to finish his thought.
Sorry.
I was just kind of wondering, do you like guys at all? Like, would you ever want to be with someone who was a boy? Sorry if that's weird to ask. Yeah, I could be with a guy. Okay, then. He has to say before finishing the question.
So.
Oh, he likes us. That's so cute. Oh, I'm sorry, Derek. This is not your... This is not your route. It's Cove's. So, what I mean is, is there any guy you think is kind of cool that you like around here? Not just at school or anything like that. He took us further. You thought about it. Mr. Holden! Should we say the dad? That's so funny. Not right now. I don't really want to say that. Let's keep it a secret. Because I don't want to hurt his feelings by saying that we like Cove. But let's keep it a secret for right now. Mr. Holden is funny, but... Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I don't really want to say that. That's okay, I get it. It's personal. Thanks. Are you mad at me? You shook your head. It was alright to ask someone. He didn't push anything. He looked relieved. Cool. Well, I hope we'll be friends no matter what. Even if we don't see each other for a long time, or if we get really busy, I still hope. He cut himself off and met your eyes. There was something serious to him. Seriously worried that you fall out of friendship. I hope so too. Derek smiled mostly to himself. He seemed a little more like the usual. Then for sure we have to make those the most of next year, then the year after that, and the year after that. He rumbled off a while about things. We'll just make the most of every year. Right. You smiled and felt like your friendship was still strong. You didn't spend much longer at the park after that. Derek didn't want to miss his dad, so you both made your way back to your street. After Derek went home, you decided to settle in for the night. Stretching your arms over your head, you noticed the living room and the phone were free. I guess we could call Lee. You picked up the receiver and quickly punched in the familiar number before going to take a seat on the couch. Soon enough, after explaining the situation to the housekeeper, Lee answered.
Hey!
Hi, Lee. Can you talk? Definitely. We practically have to go. Oh my gosh, can you believe it's almost time for school to start? What happened to our summer? School starts first thing tomorrow for me.
Ew.
Ew, and I thought starting next week was bad enough. Enjoy your last week. Oh, I will, and I hope you survive your first day. Me too, I need a good year. Ditto. At least summer was nice while it lasted, right? We were busy. Yeah. Finally, you thought about all the best memories you made this summer. Lee was there for some, but there were still many you haven't filled her in on yet. You began to speak about... Oh my gosh. The road trip you took? I went on vacation. Cove's parents ended up inviting my whole family on an RV road trip.
Really?
Wow, that's awesome! It was a 3-day trip and we visited the Redwood National Forest. Lucky! Cove snuck.
What?
Cove did wait, start at the beginning. It took a while until you stopped laughing from Lee's reaction long enough to tell every detail of the story. She excitedly squealed more than once. I can't believe you've been holding out on me with such a juicy story. Nothing really happened. Pfft, keep telling yourself that. You have to keep me updated on what happens next. It was hard to focus from what she was saying. Your face was probably red right now, just thinking about what happened. The soiree. I went to the soiree at my mom's country club. There was lots of food, dancing, and people dressed up formally. Oh, I've been to one of those. You're cool. How'd it go for you? Cove gave me a flower. It was my favorite kind. That's so sweet. Wait, was he your date? Well, it was just a practice date. That's nice too. After laughing a bit, you dove into telling Leah everything about your night with Cove. You enjoyed sharing that memory with her. Let's do one more. Baby sat the curly hot afternoon. Oh yeah, this one. Oh, one time Cove's mom had me and Cove go on with her on this ride all over town. Why did she just do that? Just cuz? Sort of. We got caught in a sun shower and she wanted to help us air dry and kept it going from there. We got everything we wanted at the burger place. Everything? Everything. Wow. What was your big highlight of the summer, Lee? Talking to you was always the best part of my summer. Even though it was a phone call, you knew that Lee was winking at you. Come on, tell me. What, you don't believe me? Lee? Alright, so high point for you when I took a trip with my parents to Europe. That was amazing. You and Lee continued to go over your adventures until both of you are yawning to each other over the phone. At that, you decided it was time to say goodbye for now. You did have school to wake up for in the morning. Bye, Lee. Night, Ara. Night, Ara. Talk to you later. You left the phone on the side table for now. Looking at the clock on the wall, you saw there was only about 10 minutes until your moms would be insisting you had to go to bed, so you could be resting up for school. You stretched out your legs on the couch and sighed into defeat, watching the minute hand change to 1 minute closer to bedtime. You rearranged yourself, feeling restless, and looked out the window. Startled initially, you started to figure out the hill. It was Cove. When the surprise hit, you realized that it wasn't that much of a shock at all. It was exactly something Cove would do. You sprinting, you reached out of the front door in record time. You didn't think you'd see Cove again that day. You had to go to him. When you arrived, you noticed how many fireflies were out that night. They drifted along lazily, barely minding your presence as you waded through reached the top of the hill. Cove turned toward you to approach, and you noticed right away that Cove looked happy to see you. Hey. Smiling shyly, you stopped in front of him. Your fingers nervously pulled the loose string hanging off your shirt. Hi, what are you doing out here?
Nothing.
Nothing, not really. He shrugged, seemingly unhappy with his own answer. You stared at him, waiting for him to continue. Well, I guess I was feeling kind of weird about stuff, so I'm getting some fresh air before bed. I know how you feel. It's hard to stay still. Tomorrow's gonna be the start of a new year. At the mention of school, and small noise escaped him. Cove let himself fall back onto his butt and then all the way down, so he was laying on his back. He looked up at the sky. You sat on his chest? What? What? So, no. Sat in the grass, you stood there. Let's lay ourselves down. You lowered yourself and lay back on the hill. He had been lost in thought or was possibly waiting for you to situate yourself, but he started speaking unprompted again.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for being kind of awkward when my mom was leaving. Surprised you stared at him for a moment. You weren't expecting that. I just wanted to know that you to know that I talked to my dad about how I felt and things. It's okay now. You were generally glad to hear that, and it brought a small smile to your face, but your thoughts quickly wandered back to the first day you met Mr. Holden. Did his dad confess about that? From the way Cove talked, you guess he hadn't. So there was more Cove and his dad should talk about, but it was relieved to know that it made a start. Now was not a good time to bring up what you were thinking, though. You could wait longer to say it. It was almost unbelievable how much impact he made on your life just by moving in next door. You couldn't even imagine what your days might have looked like in a world where you hadn't met him. Cove glanced at you, waiting for a response, and you had no idea what to say. Then, still without word, Cove shook his head strongly. What? It's you. Huh? He stuck up before answering. He looked thoroughly amused with your reaction. That's what you do all the time, so I'm being you. You felt bashful. I don't do it that much, huh? I don't do it that much. Cove burst into deep laughter. When it slowed, he continued to grin. Honestly, there weren't many people you could think of who could tease you about something like that. Returning a smile, you realized there was no denying the two of you had been around each other for a long time. Cove broke the quiet before it fully settled.
See you tomorrow.
Hey, I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, see you then. With the final wave, Cove headed for home, but you stayed there for a few minutes longer. Your minds kept going back to the simple statement. See you tomorrow. No matter how much was changing around you, there were some things in your life that always seemed to remain true. The hills felt warm to you that night. Before you knew it, you were getting comfortable under the covers in your room. Your mind couldn't help but be buzzing with thoughts about the future. You felt excited. There was little doubts in your mind that things were moving forward, and you couldn't wait to find out what changes were waiting for you on the horizon. Slowly, your eyes grew heavy and you drifted out to sea, your mind spinning with wistful thoughts. No matter what happened next, you could hope you would make the most of it. You were ensnared in a dream when a noise in the outside world jostled you. Your eyes snapped open. The light clatter continued. Now that you were more alert, you could distinguish it was tapping sounds. Quiet, slow, but persistent. Each beat was like being poked, or you couldn't ignore it. You lifted your head, looked from the pillow, and looked for the source. Not much work was needed to puzzle it out. It was from the window. With that, you knew exactly what it was. When the color of light filtering in, it was too early for anyone to be awake, including the sun. It had barely hauled itself over the horizon, but that had stopped some people, it seemed. How much you want to bet it's Cove? You sat up. Oh yeah. You sat up in bed and opened the window outside. Cool air, not yet warmed by the day, tickled your face as you pushed into your room. And just as you thought, there was your neighbor crouching on your windowsill. He was fully dressed, though not for school. He was wearing a wetsuit and a small, fond smile. Hi, Ara. You stared back, blinking. So technically we went back to school for a few more hours. His voice was delicate yet deliberate, each word a careful explanation. Classes haven't actually started yet, so do you want to hit the beach with me one more time this summer? Always. His smile widened affectionately. You rushed to get changed into something suitable while Cove climbed back down to ground level. Your limbs still half asleep struggled somewhat as you attempted to coordinate them into a swimsuit, but you got there in the end. This is so cute. Soon you were tiptoeing out your front door, clutching a towel. Cove was already there to greet you. Let's save real quick. We're already on 7, wow. Your eyes met. Cove's gaze darted to your destination and back to you. You checked the door was closed, you gave him a thumbs up, and the two of you leapt into action. Wordlessly, you began to run down the familiar path ahead, Cove beside you. The thrill of your illicit outing made you want to laugh. Not that you dared if anyone in your family looked out and saw you, then your summer would be back to being over. One glance at Cove told you that it was exactly the same, holding back snickers for fear of being heard and caught. The towel streamed from under your arm like a cape. You were running so fast downhill that simply keeping your balance and not tumbling down was a real threat. It wasn't enough of one to make you slow your pace. For every step you took, the beach was a little closer, and the day a little brighter. What lay ahead of you would arrive, and you were happy to meet it. In between? In between what? Oh, here we go! Okay. How should we have our hair? We're gonna be 18, so, Oh, that's cute. Full Karen mode? Oh, that's cute too. Oh, that's cute too. I think we're gonna be 18, so... Don't look at me. Oh, that braid is cute. Badly dyed hair? Okay. Let's go with blue. Or what color should we go with? Purple or blue? Oh my gosh. I think blue. Blue, okay. There we go. Let's see what else is. Oh, I like that. I like this bang. Let's see. Ponytail. None. Pulled back. Smooth. Choppy. There we go. I think that's fine. Rosy cheeks, freckles, acne, nah. Scar, should we have a scar? Where are they? I don't see them. Hand size glasses. Ooh, those earrings are pretty. Oh, those ones are nice too. I like the other ones though. I like these ones. Here we are. We have badly dyed hair. Do we have any birthmarks? No. Should we have a... Oh, apparently we have a birthmark on our back. Yeah, and this is what we... Scar. Let's have a scar on our... chest? I don't know. Yes. Ring? Jewel, jewels, pattern, plain. Jewel, jewels, sure. Nail length, headscarf. Oh no, no. Nail, long, short, long, short. Nail color, we're gonna go with black. Oh, nose ring, yes! We have a nose ring for sure. Or a nose stud. We look cool! Looks nothing like me, but we're 18, so it's fine. We'll say this is what I look like at 18. Or should we go purple? White? No. Nah, and blue looks best because it does a gradient. No, there's no tattoos, I don't think. Are there? No, there's no tattoos. Bracelets, sure. Actually, I don't wear bracelets, do I? I wear gloves. Fun fact, the reason I put scar on the chest is because I actually do have a scar on my chest. From my cat. Birthmark, I guess we can have one on... Let's have one on our arm. Eye patch, eye patch, no. And back. Jewel. Jewel. When I was 18, I had long hair, dressed like a rocker, listening to heavy metal music. When I was 18, I actually did have blue hair, I think. Funnily enough, so this is kind of weird. But the nose ring doesn't really fit our model because our model doesn't have a nose ring. The model doesn't have a nose ring. Maybe we take it out later. I don't know. Hell yeah, let's go. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Haru, that sounds cool. Okay. Do we have any rings? No, we don't, huh? I did have blue hair when I was 21 when I got into Japanese J-rock. Oh, cool. I've had blue hair multiple times. I've had red hair, blue hair, purple hair, pink hair, like a teal. I've had it blonde. Yeah. I've had my hair like a lot of colors. Okay, I think we're done. Okay. My feelings for Cove. Let's do crush. Relaxed. Crush and relaxed, yes. Yes. Appearance. Okay, we have to change some things here. What should his hair be? Okay, let's take off his glasses. Earrings, yeah. Okay, we can't see his earrings. Hold on. What shirts are there? Well, it was supposed to be blue, but I went turquoise. Yeah, that's how mine was. Guess jeans. See, hair. Imagine if it was this short. Oh my gosh. What hair looks the best? Probably this one, huh? Yeah, no glasses. I can't see. Oh, there we go. I wish they would show me. Oh, the earrings up there. Okay, so if we want to see the earrings, we have to go with this hair or this hair. Which hair? The really short hair or this hair? With the ponytail. Oh my god. Oh, what the heck? PJs. I guess PJs is fine. Short hair looks good. Okay. Let me go. How do I go back? Formal? Yeah, I like that. Okay, there we go. And then earrings 1. There we go. Short hair, okay. Yeah, he looks good. Since you're interested in Cove and are old enough to start being physically affectionate more seriously, you could choose what initiative level he has through step 3. Making sure the player experiences what they want is more important in our life, but always putting your choice first could potentially make a relationship feel one-sided. So we have the flexibility of how it works. Low initiative meet Cove will occasionally have to touch the MC, and in those situations there will always be opportunity yes or no. For example, he won't simply lean over and kiss the MC or a greeting or an emotional moment. Piece of Okay. Okay. Middle, low, high. I guess middle. Let's save right here. Okay. The starter classes ended the relaxed free days of summer. It didn't take long for you to get back into the swing of the school year routine. Schedules and homework became the new normal. Derek wasn't around nearly as much to his great dismay. With school itself and after-school activities, there weren't many opportunities for him to take the trip out to your neighborhood, especially because he was always at some training camp or new regiment with a strict schedule. The two of you were usually stuck with merely telling each other about what was happening in your lives instead of sharing your days in the same place. But you still kept in touch with the phone, yes. The dreamy kid did disappear after the summer and no one ever heard from him again. Where he went or what might have been up to was a mystery. You saw more Miranda around since you two hung out on her birthday. She had opened up to you. The two talked regularly. She was the same towards Cove. For all three of you developed a real friendship together. More summers came and went like the waves on the shore coming in and out. In your second year of high school, someone new started Sunset Bird. a sunny girl named Terry Brooks. She was a friend of Cove made due to both of them being ocean obsessed. Terry was more than glad to befriend you too. Someone close to Cove had to be good company, she felt. You were pleased to get along with her as well. Funnily enough, Terry was also extremely tight with Miranda, who she had known for even longer than Cove. The four of you were able to create a small friend circle. As for your home life, the Arcanums also had developments. Changing laws and public perception countrywide made it possible for your moms to openly wear their wedding rings without questions. Aww. Though they had a wedding years ago, it was only recently that the union was officially recognized everywhere in the US. That was a good day, to say the least. Aww. Elizabeth came into her own and stopped being quite as irritable. She no longer worried about perceived childness as she grew up for real. She didn't even mind being called Lizzie again, though most people used Liz. She eventually graduated high school and moved out to attend college in another state. It was a lot to you to adjust for your older sister being gone. Liz never let you forget her role in your life, though, and kept in touch. Cole's relationship with family improved over the year. Kyra visited several times after the summer, and things became easier between the two. He was also closer with his dad than ever before. You knew they talked more, and that helped prevent a lot of friction before it could start. However, Cove grew into someone no one called social. He kept to himself usually. He cared for the few connections he did have, but didn't reach outside them. Outdoor and physical activity still had his heart and his body. By this point, he had developed real skill. Many people thought he had what it took to become a pro. Things had shifted between you and Cove. You had been friends for years, but the closer you became, the more you felt for him. You didn't view him as in a purely platonic way anymore. It was simply strange to look back on it all. The future faded into your present, and then it was simply the past. Even the most fundamental parts of your life couldn't last forever. You felt that the most poignantly that day, the day you inevitably graduated high school. It was over, and you would not be going back ever again. From now on, what came next was your choice. You would be directing your own life. That was where you were currently. The summer after school had ended, the first summer of true freedom. What used to be a reprieve from the typical was now going to be your first step into adulthood. Ooh, we graduated. One fine summer morning, you took in what had become a very special scene, the whole family having a meal together. Oh my gosh! She looks so pretty! Hi, Liz! She looks so grown up, oh my gosh! Your big sister Liz still hadn't lived at home full-time for a couple years, but she arrived last week to spend the season here since it was an off semester for her. She wanted to make sure she was in town because you had now also graduated high school, so who knew how much rarer these moments would become in the future. You watched on as Liz laughed good-naturedly over a comment Mom made. Her Elizabeth-only mindset had only been a phase. Nearly any nickname was welcome at this point in her life. Aww. Strangely, even though she moved away, you felt a lot closer to her than you had in a long time. You idly scooped up more of your breakfast and chewed absent-mindedly. You were picky pescatarian vegan. We're a picky eater. And the meal you reflected that. Your moms were happy to make food that fit your needs along with dishes for themselves that didn't. Though you often made your own food nowadays. But it wasn't only you had a diet that suited certain things, as Liz had become vegetarian for a while. Aww, they have the little wrinkles. Aww, and the gray hair. Aww, everyone's so grown up. Conversations had gone on idly without you fully taking in the words until your ears were piqued when Ma started on a bit of town gossip. So that's how I heard the news. Oh, and their rings! Look at their rings! You could see it through the chat box on Ma. Alright, now stop bearing the lead and tell us what is this so-called news. Ma giggled as she cast a look across the table, satisfied that she had everyone's attention. Well, it turns out the Donnells won't be renting out the condo up the street as per Sunset Bird tradition for the first time in nearly 2 decades. Of course, the gas and shocked expressions were had all around. After the initial shock, your eyebrows pinched. Ma may consider them by name, but you and Liz always viewed them exclusively as the mean old couple who would yell at anyone under 25 who crossed their path. Your ma continued on with the story, spreading strawberry jam over a piece of toast as she did so. They've decided not to take big trips anymore. Friends and family will be visiting them at their home. That's nice for them then. Have a good summer, meet grandparents with no grandkids away from us. Finally, they can piss off. My thoughts exactly this. I hope they're still okay, even though they are mean. Kind of sad they can't travel more. That's a relief. My thoughts exactly. Be nice, kids. You don't want to end up like them, do you? You and your sister cracked a smile at the joke. Aww. Our sister is so pretty. At least they won't be here to yell at my children anymore.
Lonnie.
Lonnie. That blunt comment got laughter from all three of you. Engrossed in the conversation once more, you continued to chat with your family till the meal was over. Ooh. Step 3, third time's charm. Aww. As it went, once the food was eaten, the cleanup had to be done. Liz took the role of washing the dishes and passed them to you for drying and putting away. You had a set of cups in front of you that needed to go to the top shelf of the cabinet. You were tall, yeah. That was simply your lot in life. You have been vertically gifted. You felt great things about things where you wish you stopped growing. You didn't think much about it. You didn't even know what to think about. You felt great. Your height was something about yourself that you were always quite pleased with. Okay. Liz shook you out of your internal musing and by starting an impromptu conversation. She seemed to be voicing the thoughts that had been buzzing around in her own head. I have to say, going back for another semester this fall is pretty intimidating. You'd think after the first year or two I'd have a handle on things, but no. You saw a glance at her still placing cups in the proper place. Consistently fair, my first round was pretty general classes, and year one of my architect major was basics. Now I feel serious, I actually have to know some things. The laugh she gave was flippantly airy, but the way she scrubbed at the plates had held more force than necessary. I think it's really cool. Don't be too impressed yet. Wait to see if it actually happens, but thanks. Your older sister mouth quirked into a small smile. It'll be fine one way or another. Oh, but I'm not trying to scare you away from college, if that's even what your plan. What's going on with that anyway? General idea. You answered the question as much as you were able to and willing to. Liz's smile grew more reassuring as you did. You made it through 12 years of full-time education already. You've got plenty going for you. Sometimes it still felt hard to believe your public schooling experience was over. In the end, you graduated top of your class, you scored with high marks, you worked extremely hard but rewarded with great grades. I guess this one. Yeah, we felt satisfied. It had been a familiar and fulfilling part of your life, but you were ready to move on. Liz picked up on the silence her question ended up creating. She then decided it was time to make a closing statement on the topic.
You're a good girl.
You're a good girl, Ara. Do what's best for you and we'll be here to back it up. Thanks, Liz. I can finally use my normal voice for myself. At that, Liz happily passed the final dish your way. She waved a soapy hand as a farewell and moved on to her next task for the cleanup job. You refocused on getting the last pieces put back where they belonged. You eventually moved on to a new chore, but that was interrupted by the sound of your cell phone. Oh, we got a cell phone! Ah! That scared me! Thank you for the hydrate star. Oh, thank you for the stretch to stretch! Ugh. Oh my gosh, the boop. No. No, why two? Oh wait, that was only one. Never mind. Sorry. Vibrate. You casually picked up from the phone from where? Excuse me? You casually picked it up from the table where you had placed it earlier. The phone was a couple years old at this point, having been a 16th birthday gift from your parents. You decided which model to get, but you got to pick the color. It was black, 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 black. Black. Special charm attached to it, which was crystal marshmallow, Atlantic dolphin key. Oh, yes! The dolphin keychain Cove bought you when you were a kid. You were pleased when you finally had a prominent place to use it. I knew that would come in handy. The screen lit up as the little device swiped with one finger. You were informed by caller ID it was Lee. You weren't surprised. Despite having busier and busier life and not living in the same town, you still had a good relationship with your cousin of the same age. Okay, she is our cousin. I was right then. Especially once the miracle of both of you having your own phones actually happened. She got hers first, though. Tapping at the accept button, after her call, a familiar bubbly voice came through right after. I wonder what she looks like. Oh my gosh, our phone actually has the dolphin charm. That's so fucking cute. Oh, she looks so pretty. Hey, Ara. Hiya. I trust I'm not interrupting anything major? Only some cleaning around the house. Oh, then you're welcome for my call. A distraction from that must have been desperately needed. Yes, thank you, my dear cousin.
My pleasure.
It's my pleasure. She giggled and you could hear the jangling of jewelry she must have been wearing. Nothing amazing is happening for me either. I'm bored and felt like chatting. My morning shift ended, so I'm free for the rest of the day. Woo! That's good. We hadn't started working. Unlike you, Lee had started dipping your toes in the workforce as of late. It made keeping in touch frequently even more complicated, but you both managed. What about you? It's been pretty normal. Cool. Then so, how's Mr. Cove Holden doing? There was a teasing bent to her tone. She was never willing to let up what was going on between the two of you. Aw, but that name was incredibly familiar to yours. Cove, your next door neighbor for the past decade at this point. He was our... Okay, well, he's not our boyfriend yet. He was your best friend. At least you hadn't admitted you felt more than that just yet. He was an important friend, but you secretly hoped he'd tell you he felt more than that. He was someone you had affection for, but you didn't... Not boyfriend yet. Someday you thought, someday he'd know exactly how much he really meant to you. Yeah, we're gonna tell him one day. Are you even surviving with without the boy being 10 feet away at all times? Or is everything right with the world again and he's back? No, Lee, he isn't here. Just like when he wasn't here yesterday or the last time you asked or the time before that.
Sorry.
Oh, my bad. Can you blame me? Doesn't it seem like he should have made his grand return already? Plus, I want to visit soon and he needs to be there too. You could understand where she was coming from. This was certainly outside the norm. For the past couple months and the last few weeks especially, Cove had been going to his mom's place in Nevada. The two of you still regularly stayed in contact over text and calls, but still, your mind began to drift for all the prior trips he'd taken to visit her. Almost every year he'd have to go away for a while and then he'd be back. It was just shitty. You weren't a fan, but made do. It was nice to have a break from each other. You never minded it. It made you sad and lonely when it happened. It upset your younger self, worried about him leaving. It upset you, younger self, worried about him leaving. Probably our younger self were worried. You sent them letters. Your mom's helped you ship out care packages. You gave him special treasures to take. Some of you, we gave him treasures. Some were just to borrow, another were to keep forever. He sent you letters while you were there in return. That's how it was in the past, but lately he'd been trying to see her as much as he could before taking long trips to another state became too impractical to do. His part-time work could become full-time soon, or he could be moving somewhere else for school. Cove hadn't actually been entirely clear on his plans, what his plans were after graduation. Cove was hesitant to speak on that, even with you. It couldn't be avoided forever, though. You both knew that.
Well,
Maybe we should switch this up to a non-Cove related topic? Sounds like a plan. The rest of your conversation rolled on. Not much longer, though. Lee had to go and you needed to finish your responsibility around the house. You both exchanged goodbyes, then you went back into what you've been working on before the call came in. Aw, I like her hat. It matches her belt. That's so cute. As you wrapped up the last of your chores, you were approached by Liz wearing a cheeky smile. I've got Mom's keys. Want to get out of this tiny town and do some shopping in a real city? That sounds great.
good.
Good, I'm driving. It was nice to... That was obvious. Yeah, we don't know how to drive. Like, I don't know how to drive. Go get your wallet and anything else. We're going now. With a nod, you made a quick detour to collect your stuff from your bedroom. You had money saved up from gifts you received. After making sure you were both fully prepared for the long haul to the largest... What did I do? What did I do? Is it because I don't know how to drive? After thank you for the redeems though. After making sure you both were fully prepared for the long haul to the largest city in the surrounding area, you buckled into the car. It was a smooth ride there with a light conversation about what shops and to stop at and the radio blasting. Liz controlled what was played, but she made sure to pick songs she knew you liked. It was something the two of you had always done for each other. Aww. The trip there breezed by and felt like no time at all. You had gone from cruising down the road to cruising through the mall. Sorry? No! Trixie, no! Trixie's gone! Liz had her interest to check out in yours. You had gone into new things. You like to read, you like to watch, okay. Games are fun, you like to play board game video games. And you, oh, the chickens are faster, yay! You wrote things. You like going to the beach and what? Going surfing? Swimming? Building sandcastles? Going surfing? You're into sports like, where is it? Volleyball? And... you like to watch... no. I think that's... You enjoyed music. You listened to a lot of it. Yeah, you listened to a lot of it. And... I guess I like to read. Manga. And poetry for sure. And that was... everything that major that came to mind. When turning a corner in New Lake, the mall, your eyes caught on a little gift store. Your friends and family had recently given you many presents for graduating high school. Okay, graduation may have already come and gone, but Cove wasn't really around then anyway. You keep an eye out for something good, though you might have something nice for my home already. Eventually, the mall was explored in full, with every shop being noted and checked over. Rather than going home, you decided to walk over to some smaller stores nearby. Liz had many thoughts on the topic. Honestly, malls are not a bastion of society. Even the smaller stores require extra distance. The brands are so much more. Then your sister abruptly stopped speaking and walking right in the middle of the path. It was a good thing no one was behind her. She seemed entirely shut off for a moment. Liz? The attempt to catch her attention was unsuccessful. Something else had her focus. Before you could puzzle out what might be happening, she began to mumble out of the corner of her mouth. Alright, don't draw attention, but look. What? With a harsh switch and a solid jerk over her head, cheered you once more.
Hey.
Look! You followed her gaze as best you could, and a bunch of colors seemed strolling down the same path, okay? You faced back over your sister with a confused expression and a question. What were you supposed to be seeing there? Ara, doesn't one of them seem familiar? She was practically bouncing at this point, so you looked over the group over again, and this time you saw what she was seeing. Monks, oh! Oh! It's Shiloh! Amongst a collection of strangers with brown hair, gray eyes, and lots of freckles. That's Shiloh, our Shiloh from when we were kids. Yep, that was definitely him. Shiloh's back! I can't believe it. He's honestly just there. That's hilarious. That's incredible. Oh, but how do we talk to him? We'd have to pull him away from all those other people. And what if I'm wrong? Your mouth opened to reply, but she cut it off with her own answer to the question. I've got it. I'll shout the name Shiloh, and then we can act like it wasn't us. If he responds to that, we'll know without a doubt it's him. Or I'll keep an eye out to see if he looks. Let's try it. Likely without even hearing what you had to say, Liz put her plan into action. Shiloh! She loudly projected her words across the way and put on a casualness, turning her head away from the scene while brushing at the skirt of her dress. In a supreme awkward mode, you can only stand there as the tension in the area shifted to you thanks to your sister's shout. But the many startled bystanders who became altered by your presence, one of them was the boy. From the distance, his large eyes met yours. He looked. A wide grin looked over Liz's face. She pushed the rim of her sun hat up and directly away from her face while swishing back and forth to greet her old friend directly. Shiloh! Waving, she stepped in a bit closer to express her intention to meet. Without really closing the op, she wanted him to come to her. Who you presume to be Shiloh looked surprised at the call out. He stole a quick glance at the crowd he was with and hastily glanced back your way. He was trying to double check something. Liz remained steadfast with her gaze trained on him, and ultimately he broke away from the rest of them. Oh, he's kind of short. How old is he? After a light-footed jog across the brick path, the young man pleasantly presented himself in front of Liz and you.
Hi.
Hi, I like your hat. Just that simple greeting had Liz giggling.
Hey.
Hello, I'm not sure if you remember this, but I'm Lizzie and that's Ara. We were all friends when we were little kids. His already wide eyes grew even larger, their gaze darting between you and Liz. His previously chipper demeanor faded into something delicate. I'm really sorry, but I think you have the wrong person? You could tell not being instantly recognized was going to make this exchange a lot more of a challenge. Still, Liv was undeterred. It was a long time ago. You were really young. I get why you feel like that. However, I'm positive I'm right. You're exactly the same. The face, the freckles, how genuinely you try to phrase things. You're even still wearing a hat. Instinctively, he looked up at his head with creased eyebrows, not making the connection on why the hat meant something to her. Whoops.
Okay.
We knew each other, okay? An easy smile settled on him as silence followed Liz's speech. He was picking his next words carefully. And then the quiet, obliterated new voice bursting into the conversation. Does he have a twin or a brother? Shiloh, what are you doing? The rest of the group already left. The field trip is not a vacation. We're on the schedule. Followed by your head starts back. A sickly unhappy individual with piercing magenta eyes, dark brown skin, and a sharp jaw stormed your way. He carried a cloud of authority with him, despite looking like he wasn't even 18 yet. Sorry, I didn't mean to ditch. Shiloh, whose name was now officially confirmed, gestured with a hand to add the explanation of his absence to the stranger, watched him patiently. They thought they recognized me as someone they knew, but it was a tiny misunderstanding. Liz theoretically as well put her foot down at that, stomping in frustration, getting more childish the longer she was around her childhood companion.
Come on.
We do know you! Halamir shrunk in on himself, and the tone he spoke was pained. Sorry. You honestly couldn't tell if he was sorry for the upset feelings of your sister or the palpable dissatisfaction of his new acquaintance. That in itself was very Shiloh-like. Oh, you know him, is that it? A stranger spoke this really scoffing tone, but the words sounded so absurd to me it was almost amusing. Almost, but the sternness of his demeanor quickly restrained itself. Well, do you know me? I'll tell you, I'm someone who's going to be forced against his will to be aware of what's going on in Shiloh's ridiculous personal life for a year. If the two of you had any importance in the general day-to-day existence, it would have come up by now. Don't bother trying to exaggerate any trivial connection you might have had. It's not good enough. He's with us and you'll survive without him. Now stop loitering in the road. It's rude.
Excuse me?
Excuse me, we're the rude ones? How much you want to bet that's Jeremy? The high-strung ranting got an audible gasp from Shiloh, who finally started to speak up again in its defense. Nate, oh, it's Nate. Nate, that's really mean. It's also true, we're leaving. With his declaration, the unofficially introduced Nate indignantly spun on his heels and walked speedily towards where the group went, completely confident that Shiloh would follow behind. People sure have bad attitudes on. Why can't they just try to get along? It's not hard. Don't worry though, I bet you won't have to deal with him again. I'm sorry I can't stay to talk to you, but I hope you have a really nice life. Bye! And that was it. His final parting words given, Shiloh left the two of you behind to catch up his own life that he had to go live. Liz watched his exit stun, only to frown when he hit her that he was really gone as quickly as he appeared. It happened so fast he hadn't even been able to get a word in. She sighed, all the energy she built up releasing with a breath. She could have told him his last name was Fields, his birthday is October 30th. That would have proved it, but no. Well, damn. You had no other words for that, for what had just unfolded. Do you want to go catch up with him? Liz merely shook her head, pushing off childish thoughts. I think we can leave it there. Thanks. He's in the middle of a high school field trip and it's already enough being able to see him. There's something reassuring about witnessing firsthand that he's still out there enjoying his own part of the world. Though, if given the chance, I could definitely have a few words with him about the company he's got. She laughed, but you could tell there wasn't much humor to it. She was mad at that guy, even if she was happy to let Shiloh go. Maybe they are only with each other. The trip is actually how things are.
Right?
True, we can only hope the same for him as you did for us. Have a nice life, Shiloh. Have a good life. Liv smiled at you. It had a self-confidence you knew so well from her. Come on, little baby sister. Let's finish our own trip. Yeah. No matter how either of you really felt about the occurrence, it was just something you simply had to accept. People you know just disappear and reappear in the moment in the most unexpected ways. The two of you enjoyed what remained of your outing until it was time to return home. By the time you arrived back, the sun was already beginning to set. You arched your back as you stretched your arms towards the ceiling. While it had been a good day, it had enough activity to cover an entire week. Liz tried to hide a yawn behind her hands. You weren't the only one feeling worn out. I'll be heading up to your room, I mean the guest room, since mine stopped being available as soon as I was out the door. Her tone was light. She had quite a lot to say on the subject, but when you'd first taken over a bigger room after she left for college, there have been many trips back home for her since then. The room hasn't been hers for years. It was more of a running joke now that she continued to bring up the topic to this day. Just wanted flattery as a compliment can get you only so far, Ara. A small laugh was shared between you and your older sister. You better believe you'll be back in the guest room when you've got your own place and we're both in town for a visit. Sure. Your sarcasm won't save you here. I'm taking that as an agreement. She flashed her familiar grin as you couldn't help but feel glad she was back around, even if it was just temporary. With that, she plodded off to the spare room. You were ready to do the same. Moving into the new space was your first opportunity to decorate from scratch. Design your room! We get to design our room! Oh my god! Okay, layout. Purple, blue, green, yellow. Purple, green. Ooh. Blue, extras. Extras 1. Window, left, right, yes. Walls, left, back. Right. Right. There we go. To a telescope. Oh, there's different pictures. I like that one though. Okay, books, a plant, right? Stuffed animals! They're kind of creepy, but I like them. There we go. Sure, we have a hamper. Whoops. This looks more okay, there we go. Yeah. Do you think this is good? I think this looks cute. Whoops. Save it. How does purple look? Nah. Yellow. Nah. Green. What would extras be here? Oh, volleyball. I think this is better. Let's see. Ah, no! What'd I do? I messed that up. Hold on. I want the seashells. Okay. There we go. Done. Okay. Okay, you're really satisfied with the feel of your tiny part of the world. As your thoughts searched for you, tried to bite down another yawn. It was no good. Your bed was now lodged in your mind, and all you could think about was collapsing on it. You trudged up the stairs to your room. Stepping inside, you closed the door behind you, blocking the rest of the house. When you turned back around, you realized you were not alone there. Comfortably perched on the windowsill was someone very familiar to you. Aww! Cove Holden. What the hell? Surprise? His tone was easy and relaxed. It was certainly a surprise. You hadn't expected him to be within the state, never mind your own house. Aww. He hadn't answered how he suddenly just appeared back in Sunset Bird, though to be fair, you had been so astounded there, you hadn't been much of an opportunity for him to chat with you. Thankfully, Cove was only waiting for a good moment to start and began to explain. So I got in 15 minutes ago. No one was home, so I figured I'd come in the usual way. Window. A small smile had formed on his face. You were still staring at him, unable to blink in case he disappeared. You could still barely believe that he was really there, a mere feet away from you. I left my bags in your backyard. I hope that's alright. That was when you truly understood. Cove had come straight to you upon getting back to town. You were his first port of call, taking precedence above all else. Even though you hadn't been in when he called, Cove had ensured that he'd see you at the earliest opportunity rather than allowing his plans to change. You ran to Cove. You shook your head. You laughed. You ran to Cove. Every second away from him was a moment too long. As you approached, quickly hopped from the sill to meet you. Trouble's back in town. I miss you. I'm so glad you're here. You're too crazy. I can't believe it's the most amazing night in the world. Trouble's back in town. That's bone-crushing hug. Cove squeaked as you crushed the air from his lungs. He awkwardly managed to wrap his own arms around your back in return. He moved to wrap his arms around your shoulders and tucked his head into your neck. His breath was warm against your skin. I missed you. Even if he hadn't said it outright, you would have gotten the message from his body language. Cove was grinning widely, his raised cheeks bearing his eyes, which gleamed like hidden gems. But he looked at you as you were the most exciting treasure of all. Aw, how was the trip? Yeah. Cove told you about how his trip had gone. His mom was doing really well. She had a project in the works that she was thrilled about. As a result, Cove was going to be sticking around inside Bird for the time being. Things were more settled as much as they ever could be. Oh yeah, we gave a hug. With Cove back once more, you felt at ease. Cove stretched his arms over his head, his eyes on the window and the world beyond. The sun had set while you've been busy reuniting.
Well,
I should probably get my stuff and see Dad. He glanced over to you with a familiar, expectant look. Want to come with me? You know I do.
cool.
Cove began to head to your bedroom door. Piggyback ride. Cove? This is normal now. The piggyback rides are normal. He paused, turning to face you. I'm not planning on walking there. Cove shook his head with a smile on his face, implying that it was you and your senses he was questioning, not the requests. You come to expect the latter, even though he didn't get why it held such appeal for you.
All right.
He crouched down just enough for you to hop on his back in a practice move, and there wasn't much of a difference in height between you two. He didn't need to bend down much at all. With how often you'd done it, there was no trouble in climbing aboard the Cove Express. The Cove Express. Why did that make me laugh so much? Cove straightened up with poise, accustomed to balancing someone over his shoulders. Cove carried you down the stairs. Oh my gosh, that's dangerous. You had to duck a couple times. The ceiling... Excuse me? The ceiling grazing against your elevated head. Still, you safely reached the ground floor of your house. The door's gonna be in the way. Get off here so I can open it up. He bent down to let you slide safely off his back. Seeing things from your usual height was disorientating after getting accustomed to looking down at everything. In all the excitement of Cove's return, you hadn't even remembered the gift you prepared for when he got back. It would be best to give it to him now before he left your house. Can you wait here a little while? I got something for you. Cove's eyes widened as he tried to conceal a smile. He toyed with the collar of his top.
Really?
Really? I mean, you didn't have to do that. You nodded with some eagerness, trying to imagine how he'd react when he actually saw it. It was okay. It was white popping from the velvet, a orange shell. The orange. Oh yes, yes, from our shell collection. Oh, hello, Skythe. Why, hello, cutie. How are you doing? I'm doing good. How are you? Or are you talking to the little shrimp? Because the shrimp is a little cutie. We're playing, sorry if I missed your message or if it just came in. I was getting into the visual novel. How are you doing? And I'm doing good. We're playing, Our Life Beginnings and Always. We're probably gonna end soon after this scene ends. But yes, we're 18 now and out of high school. We're finally not kids, so I can finally do voices I'm more comfortable with. You quickly went up to your room to collect the shell, knowing exactly where to find it. It had been housed in the same box since... Good, glad to hear. I'm good, thanks. I was saying it to you, but it can be... I could say it for both. 18 and ready to kiss. Yes, we'll get that kiss eventually. It had been housed in the same box since you were a little kid after all. Taking great care, you extracted it from the case. Though it had been a long time since you take it out, the grooves were as familiar as your fingertips as the opening line of your favorite song was to your ears. Cove had admired the shell ever since he first saw it, declaring it to be the best of all your treasures. Despite that, he never accepted your offers to take it. You hoped that might change tonight. Are you winning, magician? I don't know. We got a piggyback ride that we made a normal thing for us. And we got to, so yeah. No kisses yet though, but we got hugs and stuff. You closed your hand around the shell, not wanting Cove to see it until you were ready. You headed downstairs. That's progress, yeah! When you were back in front of Cove, you cautiously lifted your arms up. He looked curiously on as you unfurled your fingers to show him the gift. I know you don't want to take it from me, but what I want is for you to have it. Cove stared down at the familiar shell nestled in your palm. His mouth parted, though no words came out. He drew his eyes to meet yours silently and found the answer to whatever question he couldn't speak. He put his hands over yours and broke the silence. Okay. It was quiet as a whisper. His fingers were gentle as his words brushing against your palm as he took the shell from your grasp. Oh, sorry, BRB, we need to put chickens away. Quick, just saw how dark it is outside. Okay. And then Stark eats the chickens. No. He cradled it carefully against his chest and smiled at you, his eyes bright. I'll keep it forever. Cove blah blah laid the gift safely on the counter, but he didn't turn back to face you once he ensured it was secure. Though his face was angled away from you, you caught his eyelashes fluttering as if he was battling with tears. His throat bobbed as he swallowed bubbling emotions. Aww. Oh, that's so cute! You know that Cove could be sentimental. The gift and all the memories and feelings tied up in it seemed to have taken a toll on him. He began to sniffle and you felt the need to reach out. Cove? I can't, you just are. I don't know what to do. You forcefully scrubbed at his eyes. He was like he was trying to push the tears that threatened to spill back in. Oh, Cove, it's okay. Do you need a cry? No. Nevertheless, oh, look at him. Nevertheless, the tears began to spill down his cheeks. Even as he wiped them away, more took their place. Thank you. His voice quavered as he spoke. Cove scooped you into a hug, pressing you so tightly against his chest that your breath escaped in a short squeak. He buried his face against your neck, shed tears damp on your skin. You hugged him back. You didn't need words as you quietly accepted his appreciation. Cove let out a steady breath. It was far removed from the shaky gasps that had accompanied his sniffles. The tears had dried. All the crying emotes from his beauty. His eyes were a little red, but open and at peace once again. He smiled, fully recovered from the emotion that had overcome him. You're really seriously too nice to me. You smiled back. I don't think there's such a thing as too nice when it comes to you. Cove brushed his hand against the pale ghost scar on his arm. He was at a loss what to do from now. The clock ticked away, counting the seconds of silence. Once you had a chance to settle your thoughts, you figured you'd tell Cove your intriguing news. I meant to tell you earlier, I saw Shiloh today.
Huh?
Shiloh? Cove repeated the name, his expression blank. From when we were kids. Cove pondered for a moment and snapped his fingers. Oh, he was the freckly boy from that first summer, right? The one who moved? I met a guy named Shiloh. He looked just like the Shiloh who knew, plus how many years. But he didn't remember me and just left. Cove frowned. That's, I don't know. Too bad I missed it, though you knew him better than I did. That was definitely true. Not only had Cove known Shiloh for a shorter period of time, but he and Shiloh had never quite gotten along. Not that they were enemies either, just kids who were only ever together because the other people they both knew, because of other people they both knew. I wonder what Shiloh's up to these days. I don't have any idea. He didn't say much. Oh well. That was everything you had on the news items, so you moved on to the next big update. Also, you know the mean old neighbors, the ones who would always yell at us? He cringed, recalling those particular memories of back in the day. It was not pleasant even for someone as nostalgic as him. Yeah. They're not coming. They didn't even rent the condo this summer. Cove's jaw dropped. You didn't blame him. The elderly couple had been an institution for as far back as you can remember, long predating Cove's arrival. Even now, as a teenager, you found your neck prickling as you walked by their condo, half expecting a scolding for breathing the wrong way in the vicinity of the vacation home. It was strange to think of that coming to an end. Wow. Cove blinked, clearly struggling with the idea the same way you had. I didn't see that coming. People being gone, people coming back, it feels like I've missed a lot. This has been a busy summer already. Well, you haven't missed the fireflies. They haven't shown up yet. Well, that's something, and we better not get left behind. There's still stuff to do. You nodded. As soon as you left your house, Cove bent down to let you climb back onto his back for the last part of the journey. Aww. It seemed now that no sooner had the night begun that it was already at an end, and the dawn of the new day was soon upon you. The next morning, your belly was full of breakfast, and you were in a pleasant mood. You hoped the rest of the day followed suit. Later, you're meeting up with your friends, Cove, Miranda, and Terry to go into town. It was all on short notice, but that was because everyone was just so excited that Cove was finally back home. Having a nice daydream? You blinked, pushing all your thoughts away and returning to reality. Your mom was watching with a teasing smile. So what's on the agenda today? I'm meeting up with some people. Well, I hope you and your friends have fun. Don't get into too much trouble. She winked at you. You both knew your moms wanted you to enjoy every bit of the summer before all the big changes started. I'll try. But before you go gallivanting around the town, could you bring the mail in? I'm finishing up putting the dishes away over here. All right. Thank you very much. Oh my gosh, he doesn't look like Clavier anymore. No! He changed his hair. Why would you do that, Cliff? As soon as you were outside the front door, you couldn't help but see Cove and his dad standing around in the road. They noticed you too. Hey there, Ara. Cove smiled lightly and waved. When you began making your way over, he added, Hi. You ruffled his hair. You gave him a high five. You hugged him. You waved. In a flash, you hooked your arm around his neck and pulled him down to receive your finest noogie. His hair stuck out in funny places when you released him. Cove wouldn't quite meet your eye while he pouted at it and attempted to fix his... Oh, she looks like she's plotting to kill you or hasn't slept in weeks. I'm back. She's just older now. The mom's just older now because we're 18 now, so she has some eye bags, I guess. Cove wouldn't quite... And welcome back. Cove wouldn't quite meet your eye while he pouted and attempted to fix his hair. Chuckling, you watched as he exhaled his embarrassment away. You noticed Mr. Holden was taking the scene of you and Cove with a self-satisfied smile. Cove followed your line of sight and shot it down in unimpressed looks. Good to be back. For most of the moment, Mr. Holden seemed like he had thought of dancing on the tip of his tongue. Had a thought dancing on the tip of his tongue, but he started to keep it to himself. So, what are you up to today? As far as I know, nothing too much. Me and Cove are meeting some friends in town later. Sounds like a plan to me. Yawning, Mr. Holden stretched his arms over his head. Why doesn't he have eye bags? My boy and I have just been waiting around to see what the new neighbors are like. It was definitely his idea. I don't know how you're not interested in this. It's big news. Besides, it's only be polite to greet the new folks in town. Maybe be a single day. Cove started some airy laughter at the suggestion. Oh? You think we'll have some competition? For several moments, Mr. Holden was unable to answer. He was still chuckling when he put his hands on his hip and tried to compose himself. He's been stealing the cream to get rid of wrinkles from her. Yeah, probably. Absolutely not. We're the #1 father-son duo in this town, and no one's changing that. Miss Holland took one glance at the currently vacant building and sighed dramatically. When he turned back to you and Cove, his whole body seemed deflated. There's no sign of them, and I still need to head over to work soon. Cove gave his dad a few reassuring pats on the back. Okay, I promise to keep an eye out. I can text you if anything happens. Really?
Of course.
Of course. Well, I mean, it's only until I have to meet up with Terry and Miranda. Would that still work? With a wide grin breaking out on his face, Mr. Holden looked absolutely thrilled to have his nosiness enabled. That works. He moved to firmly place both hands over Cove's shoulders, fixing his child with a firm stare. Son, you are truly you are my true ally in this world. Mr. Holden stood up straighter, letting Cove go. He looked reinvigorated. Okay, with that settled, I'll go make some money. That's always been the one thing I do best. Mr. Holden headed out to the garage with a big wave goodbye. Cove smiled the whole time you both watched his dad leave. Yeah. He was one of our favorite people. I mean, look, he has a stingray for a tattoo. That tells you everything. He's been stinging her right in her ray of youth. Yeah, that's true. It probably has been. On the boop. Oh no. He's always tried his best and was honestly just great. As soon as he was outside, Cove sighed lightly. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, just not looking forward to waiting. Guess I'll be hanging around the street for a while. Why don't I stay see the new neighbor and keep you company? Curiosity about the new tenant was getting the better of you, and you figured the wait wouldn't be too much longer. And besides, you couldn't leave Cove. Really? Of course, I like keeping you company, remember? He stared at you a moment, smiling softly, thinking about his response.
Me too.
I like that too. Cove put his hands on your shoulders, gripping you solidly, but not enough to hurt. His eyes fixated on you firmly. He was serious. Alright, you're my true ally in this world. That got a fair amount of chuckles from you. He grinned, the stoicism fading into amusement. I don't know that word.
Thank you.
I knew you stayed for me. You're lucky to have me. Teasingly Cove's raised an eyebrow. You're the most lucky guy in all of Sunset Bird. Luckiest. For a moment you weren't sure if Cove was laughing at your declaration or that you momentarily forgot the word luckiest. Either way, you didn't mind. The smile reached on his face. The smile on his face reached his eyes and it made you feel electric. And then he let go of you. Cove stepped over to the front porch, lazily taking a seat and leaning back on his arms. Our watch begins. Nodding in agreement, you joined Cove on the front porch steps. You both sat there in a comfortable familiarity as you settled in waiting on the new tenants. The neighborhood was quiet. You sat contentedly, closing your eyes and feeling the light breeze. The only sound you could hear was a familiar jingle of Cove's wind chime. After all these years, it was still there, adorning the entrance outcropping his house. Eventually, you both perked up at the sound of a car. A taxi followed the noise turning on your street. Cove's eyebrows raised at the sight and he sat up straight on the stoop.
Oh?
That has to be them, right? Yeah, it's gotta be. Now that they were here, you couldn't help but feel a bit curious. You wonder what kind of person would be living in the neighborhood for the summer. The taxi pulled to the stop you expected in front of the house, now empty condo. It was on the same side of the street as your house, a few buildings further up. Without getting to his feet, Cove tried leaning and tilting his head to the view of the passenger door as it opened. The single occupant exited the cab. Huh? You could feel what Cove was in that moment. After the last winter, this new visitor was definitely not exactly what you expected. Oh my god! Cove might have some competition. He has brown eyes, oh my god. Cove, man. But brown eyes, man. It was a young man. He had to be close to your own age. He was dressed fully in a eclectic black, white, and gray outfit. Even his side-swooping hair matched the scheme. The only pop of color was something that couldn't easily be fashioned into submission. A pair of dark brown eyes, which you caught when he looked over at his audience. Hello, folks. Who might you be? We're the neighbors? A smile already prominent on his face curled further. It was cocky, but you didn't get the impression it meant something adverse. Hallelujah. You and Cove shared a familiar look with one another, bewildered even further. The color-coordinated man left it there, however, and with a firm click, he shut the door of his ride. Then he turned his back to you to receive a large, unsurprisingly black suitcase out of the trunk. Continue on with his own business. He strolled forward and lightly tapped on the driver's side window, snuggled, asking them to roll it down. When it opened... oh no! Oh, thank you for the... thank you for the stretch and hydrate, Ayuri. Oh my gosh, everyone's petting my stomach. No! No! When he opened, he leaned down and rested an arm on the edge. You assumed he was thanking the driver for getting him there, considering he slipped them a tip during the brief chat. They shook hands and brushed himself up further away from the taxi with both arms, giving the driver room to leave. The taxi pulled away, rolling carefully down the road and out of sight around the corner. The new renter had officially arrived. The best redeem. It was a mistake redeem too, and everyone loves it. Oh yeah, hello, Ayuri. How are you doing, by the way? He left the suitcase on the ground out of the way of the street. No! No! On the ground on the way of the street. Clown. On the way of the street and sauntered over your way with confidence of someone who had invited to join. Cove finally stood up to greet this person. You followed suit.
Excellent.
Oh my gosh, his voice. Excellent. Baxter. I'm Baxter Ward. It's excellent to meet you, neighbors. You were standing on the side as he was approaching from. When Baxter got close enough, he offered his hand to you first. You shook it. Baxter gripped your hand firmly and gave it a satisfying shake. Hi, Baxter. I'm Ara. Hey, Ara. Hey, Ara. I'm quite keen on getting to know you better this summer. We could be good friends. From your other side, Cove made a sudden sputtering noise. And you are? A scuff redeem. A scuff redeem, what would that be? What could a scuff redeem be? He lifted his hand out to Cove next. Cove instead crossed his arms to express rejection of the idea, still eyeing Baxter carefully. Jealous. I'm Cove. Baxter holds a meter lit up for unknown reasons. His eyes shone as he studied Cove for a moment.
Really?
Oh my gosh, his voice. Now wait, is that a nickname or your real name? It's just my name. Cove spoke mildly, having given the explanation many times in the past, but it clearly turns Baxter all the same. He tossed his head to one side with a laugh. Your parents knew exactly what they were doing. I can't imagine a more fitting name for the face I'm seeing. Cove, that's gorgeous. It's really not. Hey, only I get to fluster him. Yeah. Doing something to eat and chilling. Need some rest from today. I got new sponsors? Fawn Shores. Fawn Shores. Sorry, I don't know what that means. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I do that? It wasn't my intention. Baxter grinned welcomely. The entire conversation brought a burning red blush to Cove's face, and he couldn't make contact with either of you. You noticed that Baxter looked apologetic over Cove's increased discomfort. I'm sorry, it wasn't my intent. It wasn't intended to mean more than it did. I like your name, but you don't have to mind that. I'm patently against stepping on anyone's toes. He chuckled to himself. It seemed like there was some extra meaning hidden behind there in the words. You noticed that Cove raised an eyebrow, picking up on that too. Baxter didn't even open his eyes to see your faces to know that he had some filling to do. He stood up straight, striking a slight pose with the position on his feet. I'm a ballroom dancer, hence the phrasing. Oh, I don't know much about dancing, but that's pretty cool. It's not hard once you get the basics down. Sponsors has affiliations. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Now I get it. Cove didn't look convinced at all. Baxter took that as a cue to keep talking.
Wow.
Stop talking in my ear. He grinned in a way that was rapidly becoming familiar to you. If either of you are ever looking for a partner, I'm available. Cove frowned at the overt forwardness. Thanks. I'll pass, I think.
Excellent.
Oh my gosh. The way he talks. Oh, you can. I'll look forward to that then. After that, there was a lull in the conversation and Cove attempted to fill it. What made you decide on Sunset Bird? Oh, yes. Well, my parents rented the condo, so I had a place to stay while I'm off for a semester from college and not living in the dorms. There was a playful glint in Baxter's eyes as he continued.
Honestly.
Ideally, they wanted me to send me somewhere that wasn't too exciting, but lucky for me, they picked the wrong street considering the two of you live here. Cove practically reeling over how Bax found a way to fit comments like that into every single topic thus far. Why do you keep doing that? You don't know us, but you talk like you already do. Cove spoke firm, like genuinely confused, and Baxter smiled cautiously. I don't feel the need to keep words of praise to myself. When I say something, I mean it.
See?
Plus, what's the point of spending my off semester alone? The best part of being somewhere is new is getting to interact with new people. Am I honestly the first person who acknowledged you're attractive and intriguing people? True, you're hidden away in a tiny tourist trap, but still. Baxter crossed his arm after studying your face. In a few more seconds, he decided to continue. Am I only trying to score a hookup or get a romantic fling started by saying those things? No, that isn't the point of speaking well of others. I was raised better than that. Though I would I be fussed at that when my words led to? Also no. I am flexible, not surprised. I can back off with the lines if you don't like my attention, but I would like to be friends if we can. Cove wasn't sure how to respond. He glanced at you and he continued to look at your face when he spoke. Thanks for answering. I'm not interested in any part of that with you. Maybe not the friend thing, but the other part. Baxter laughed at that. Glad we're working things out. Shifting his weight on his other foot, Baxter tried to move forward. So, since you're both already out here, did my arrival interrupt anything? Definitely not. Smiling, you laughed in a conspiratorial way. Baxter looked at you curiously. He didn't understand your response, but he chose not to question it, and he smiled politely instead. Well, if either of you are free, I'd be thrilled to hang out this summer, but we could save the schedule talk for later. I should get my things inside. He gave a small nod of the head and flashed you both a dazzling smile.
Goodbye.
Goodbye for today. Cove simply waved goodbye. Bye, Baxter. See you. Baxter turned on his heels and strolled back to a suitcase, picking it up and bringing it to his condo. You and Cove were silent as Baxter unlocked the door and disappeared into the house. With him completely out of the scene, Cove let out a long breath.
Well,
I don't know how I'm going to explain that guy to my dad. You burst into a fit of laughter trying to imagine the conversation. So, do you like it when people say that sort of stuff about people? It's okay to do it. Never mind. At least the job is done. We saw the new neighbor and now we could go meet up with Terry and Miranda. Yeah, we should get going. You gave Baxter Common one last glance over your shoulder. Not sure how to feel. Honestly, you didn't know if you would ever come to a conclusion about him. Baxter was just so different. Turning to your attention back to Cove, you pushed all the thoughts of Baxter aside. You both started making way towards town. Okay, how long have we been going? Okay. Oh my gosh. How much longer is this? I think 3:10. I feel like that's a good place to stop. Save right there, and we'll finish this off later the next time, which is gonna be on not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Stardew on Thursday. We can finish this up on Thursday and keep it going. We have some drama. Apparently, I have a feeling Baxter is gonna come in between me and Cove. So that's gonna be fun. Go to the main menu. Okay. Go to just chatting. Oop. Okay. Okay. Thank you everyone for coming. That was my first stream back, and thank you for the social star, and stay for the raid if you would like. Who are we gonna raid today? Let's see. How about Ami? Is Ami okay? Do you think? Oh wait, I need to put the raid messages out. Raid 1. Raid 2. Sorry for not continuing, but my voice is really tired. Ami or Shinksha started? Okay. We'll do Ami. Let's see.
That would be.
See ya. Bye bye. Thank you for being here. And stick around for the raid if you'd like. Thank you all so much for the warm welcome back. Thank you for all the bonks. Thank you for the resubscribes. Thank you for everything. I really appreciate it. And thank you for just chilling with me with a game that I've come to really love. Okay. Bye. Okay. Ending screen.